Hello and welcome to Sparrows of Nightmarket. I am DarcyBits. This is my channel. That's all you need to know about me. We're gonna move through everybody quickly and jump right into game. B, introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm B. I am uh, a person. I and I don't. These are weird because I don't have
You
any
don't have to
side.
say anything amazing. You can just be like, "Hi, I'm B. That's my name."
Okay, okay. So yeah, hi, I'm B. That's my name. Welcome to the game I run.
Simon.
Hi, I'm Simon, and last week we were talking about an opening bit. So mine is when I was 5, my favorite word was oscillating.
That's a
That's
good
good.
word.
That is a good word. Yeah.
Yeah. What happened to make it no longer your favorite word?
Uh, different word took its place.
Knocked off the top spot. All right. So, what happened last time? Oh, we've got a missing Simon.
Oh
So
dang.
he will be back shortly, I am sure. But let us just quickly go through what happened last time. So this is Bears Night Market. It's a Blades in the Dark game. Blades in the Dark. It's scoundrels in the industrial fantasy city of Doskvol,
Doskvol.
and we are up to no good. Hello, welcome back, Simon.
Huh.
So last time, let's see where to start. We started
Hello?
right at the beginning. Hi, Simon, you're back.
Okay, good.
We started right at the beginning of a new job. Prior, we had acquired a job from a crew of terrorists, I guess. They seem like terrorists to me.
Yeah.
Vigilante terrorists, let's call them.
Yeah.
Who asked us
Yeah.
to plant a bomb at a Lanterns Day party, which is sort of like New Year. And we went, yeah, sure, we can do that.
Huh.
So we went and did it, and it went off without a hitch. The important details would probably be something along the lines of, we knew that a Lord Skurlock would be in attendance, and we have a personal interest in him, let's say. In the middle of the job, my character Nines sort of went off script and then tried to sort of in the moment be like, hey, Brance, what if we tried to like swing our allegiance with Skurlock and get him on our side? So he ended up getting let in on what was going on, not who hired us or anything, just sort of that there was something going to happen and, to probably try not to die. And he agreed or let us in that he had a job that he would be willing to, have us do for him. And that's basically was the entire session. It sounds a lot shorter when I say it real quick, but he heads off back to the party. Everything explodes, and he is was he the lone survivor or just like a notable survivor?
Notable, I believe.
Notable, yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Simon?
Along the way, before we let him on that we were us, we were talking about procuring a ship for him because that was part of our cover, and that offer hasn't changed yet. So that kind of leads on to where we are now.
Yes, we have effectively arranged our next job, which is cool. I don't know the details yet, but we're prepping for that. So after the score, we went through the downtime. We didn't accrue any stress that score, so we skipped our stress relief and went straight into long-term projects.
Yeah.
I believe Brant's actually removed some heat for us, which is nice.
Yeah.
Nines instead started to try and establish some prison claims, which in this case, are basically preemptively getting prison guards on their payroll for the sake of when they eventually get incarcerated, they'll have a cushier time. Planning ahead, as it were. The next set of downtime actions was in pursuit of getting procuring said ship. Again, sort of preemptively for the Skurlock mission, but also because in general, that seems like something that is worth having available to us, so we can start taking our smuggling operation outside of the city. Yeah. And so instead of directly being like, we own this ship now, it's ours, we sort of tried to establish a some sailor or captain contacts who we could trade favors with in the future. Don't know why.
Did we?
We didn't finish that though. No.
Yeah, you didn't. But also, I guess something I guess we didn't really talk about was So this is something your characters would pick if you don't want to pick. I could pick for you. But who do you think owns the ship regularly?
Oh, I mean, I think I was talking with the actual captain of the ship, but I think I left that open in case you wanted me not to be.
Oh, really?
It was sort of the idea of either it's the captain or just someone who has enough sway that they can arrange for it to be available to us. Maybe it's a first mate or something.
Maybe what's this? Who I imagine some noble house, right? That would own the ship.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if we want to invent a family, let's do it, right? But and it might not be I'm arranging it with the family. It's the person who is officially in charge of the operations of the ship, and they are doing something that is sort of under the radar of what the family actually is allowing for the ship that owns it, because they're not actually paying attention to every little thing that happens. As long as they get the shipments in, who cares?
That's what I'm feeling. Some I imagine some ships do have a membered family on the ship, but I think most people just hire someone capable and
Yeah, I mean, it probably is a ship that belongs to a family, and then the captain is, probably been working there for a long time, is dedicated to that, purpose. But what they don't know won't hurt them.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to come up with something, awesome. If not, I could make up a name, but it's just going to be a random name, right?
Yeah. So I would say, well, I'm also going to come up with a name.
Yeah.
But so hold on, just 1 second.
So the point is that we pursued that as a downtime action to establish, but didn't manage to finish our clock. So that is not currently available moving into the next score. But we were talking a little bit before the show that maybe we can still, these are NPCs in the world, even though they're not officially on our sheet yet. We might be able to still convince them to give us this, advance, so to speak. Maybe show that we can be trusted by going out on this mission with us, or something like that.
Yeah, if you want to do something that would help them out, then I think that you can move that clock up a whole lot faster.
Yeah, and it might not actually technically affect the clock because it's sort of clocks are very specifically this downtime thing, but as a way of being we've already started building rapport. It's not on retainer or anything for us, but we have the capability of leaning into that starter rapport. If the job requires us to be doing something now. Of course, that'll be part of the job. We'll require roles. We can't just request the service like you normally would for most things that you get from your contacts. Yeah. So, with that out of the way, let's go over our experience. So, I have Brant here first, so I might as well start with him. Let's switch over the scene. Oh, there it is. Beautiful. Oh, I forgot to change this.
Yeah. So, by the way, the ship you.
This is fine. Yes.
So the ship you're actually talking about here is called the Seahawk, and and it is controlled by the Walters.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write that down on our actual crew sheet, but say like, how many ticks do we have on it on the clock?
I forget. Sorry, I'm just like looking at lines of stuff.
My shower, but that's why. Do you have the keys?
All right, this is called. Yeah, it's fine. We've got the Seahawk.
Yep.
Seahawk ship, and it's owned by
the Walters.
The Welters. Okay.
Yeah.
Welters, and then I'm gonna say that is. What did we get? How many ticks did we get on that? I should just put this aside. One of these clocks. Search the diary, sell the diary.
Schmooze Boat Captain.
Schmooze Boat Captain. 4 out of 8.
Yeah.
Great. So I will put that on the sheet.
Yeah.
That's not the right sheet. Sparrows. Okay. And I'm just going to say 4 out of 8. Great. Okay. Late rumors, yeah, great. All right, cool. So back to Brance's sheet. Simon, how are you feeling today? Let's take a look at your experience.
Good.
So last session,
Okay.
we don't bother looking at our desperate actions because that is something that we should have marked in the moment, and I'm pretty sure we had no desperate actions anyway.
Right.
So did you address a challenge with calculation or conspiracy?
If I remember correctly, I think we already did this. Wait, I don't remember.
We did not.
We did not, but I think you did.
Okay.
Yeah, so going back over
we-
everything that happened, right? I quickly skimmed through the recap without getting into any details, and this is a good time to sort of highlight nice moments that happened along the way. So
I think I remember now. It got mixed up with the one before the last stream.
yeah. Also, we like teared up, so that might be part of it that you were thinking of.
Yeah.
But yes, so my contribution to this would probably be something along the lines of the general plan. Like it's such a good experience trigger because we spend so much time planning that is a calculation, that is approaching challenges, right?
Yeah.
So that's almost always going to be worth at least one. The question is, can we get that next one? And I think like it was a tricksy thing, right? It was this like really interesting weaving this lie and sort of going in to do one thing and then coming out a different way. That feels very conspiracy to me. I think you should take 2.
Sure. I'll take that then.
Cool. And remember, you can put these either in Playbook Advance or into another stat progression. What do they call them? Traits? I can't remember. You expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. I feel like there were some really good standout moments, but as always, they are fleeting in my memory. What are your thoughts about that one before I give my opinion?
I don't remember too much, but I think a little bit. Some things that was touched on was the just kind of disdain for the rich.
I remember that. That was very clearly there. Yeah. I think you had a lot of interesting things to say about sort of the way you want to operate the crew and stuff. And like, there's a lot of questions about like, where we're going and things like that, how to build. And I think that counts as drives because like, yes, that's sort of part of the crew advancement, but it's still you personally you're taking personal interest in that, advancement and such. Did your heritage come into play? Not really. I don't think. We talked a lot about. So last time we went into this party. disguised as fictional nobles. You being Scottish was not changed in that story, but I don't think it really came up in any significant way though that I can recall. If you have any thoughts, please.
Yeah, that's about it. So I don't think it was more a passing by mention.
Yeah, I think your background might have come up a bunch though, right? Just it sort of informed what you were able to talk about regarding ship work and stuff like that, which is cool. I would again levy for 2.
Yeah, I can see that.
Sure, I'll take that then.
Yeah. And did you struggle with issues from your vice or traumas during the session? There was a lot of talk about we're going to a party, let's get drunk on the job, but it didn't really it wasn't really an issue. It didn't really cause any problems as far as I recall.
They kind of look at you weirdly, but they got blown up, so yeah.
So I don't know, like you could maybe say that it's well, it was minorly shown, so that's worth 1, but I don't know. That's sort of not really. I feel like that's kind of a GM call situation, because it was sort of the thing that could go wrong theoretically, right? It draws more attention than it needs to, that kind of thing. So.
I wouldn't say so, just kind of because it didn't get it out of hand.
Right.
Yeah, I say the same, yeah.
Great. Okay, so.
All right.
That was a total of 4, I believe.
Yes.
Cool.
And I put them all into resolve.
Ooh.
Oh.
Look at that. 2 away from another point. You're looking for that sway, huh?
It's either that or command.
You mentioned previously wanted to get to 2 sway, so I wasn't sure. All right.
Yeah.
So that is great. I'm going to switch over to 9's sheet.
Yeah.
You addressed a challenge with deception or influence. So this was fun for me. I feel like the first sort of challenge we ran into was just people showing up and trying, kind of testing our story of being these nobles they hadn't heard of. Always busy working on the Leviathan ships and stuff. So I got to tell lots of tall tales and lie a lot. So that was fun for me. That is a challenge with deception. Later, trying to sort of twist the score from being just about destroying things and into schmoozing with I'm going to say schmooze a lot this session.
It's a good word.
Such a good word. With Skurlock himself, I feel like that's leaning into the addressing challenges of influence personally, if anyone else has any.
Yeah,
cool. So I'm going to take 2 for those.
Okay.
I'm just going to write that down over here, I think, temporarily, so that I can keep track without marking them anywhere. You expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. So I talked a lot about my background being going in and out of jail, and how that is something I am very comfortable doing, and especially at the end of the session where I'm preparing to set up additional claims so that I can exert my will in Ironhook more more easily. Feels like an important part of the expressing my background. My heritage didn't really come up. We talked about it a bit, when I was disguising myself, I was hiding my ears. The way that, just little disguise details. I feel like that's just window dressing, though. I don't think it was really anything specific. I'm looking at beliefs and drives, and I don't remember anything specific that jumps out to me about that. But it leans into background and stuff. So there is one thing, which is it was Nine's idea to go and talk to Skurlock and figure out what's going on with him. When they didn't need to. That was not part of the plan.
Also, it's that is kind of expression of drive. I would say.
Yeah, and it's one of those weird if you were watching this as an audience, though, I don't think you'd end the episode, so to speak, going, I know why they did that, right? Is it just general ambition? Is it
ambition is kind of a thing about a character, right?
Yeah, and so something that I don't know if it came up that much was that Skurlock is just generally an interesting person, and normal folk don't have the opportunity to talk with them much. And that was a primary drive to do so. It was a personal interest in the character, as opposed to because Nines was mostly unaware of the crew's interactions with Skurlock prior.
Yeah.
Right? They weren't part of the crew during that. So, yeah, it was this very sort of personal interest that they were exploring. So I would love you for 2 for expressing my beliefs, Strauss heritage background. And then I would say that I don't think I struggle with the issues at all for my vice or traumas. I need to develop a trauma, because traumas are so much easier to play into than your vice.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, dude.
Yeah. So that gives me 4, which 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm 1 away. Ah, dang it. That's a shame.
Actually, yeah. What are you gunning for in terms of like perks?
There's a couple I'm got my eye on. I do want to eventually get Jailbird, which is a veteran perk taken from the Spider playbook. But I don't know. There were a few that were in my mind, and I don't have them top of mind right now, because I was looking at them at the time of creating the character. Cloak and Dagger is interesting because it's when you use disguise or other form of covert misdirection, you get an extra die to your rolls to confuse or deflect suspicion, which is an interesting, like, I think that disguise and stuff is something I want to do more with them. Other than that, I think I'm mostly interested in veteran things from other playbooks, honestly.
Nice.
But there's some really interesting ones that this slide has, like Trust in Me. You get +1 die versus a target with whom you have an intimate relationship. So I don't know if that's going to be the way I choose to play them or not. We'll find out, I guess. Oh, actually, Rook's Gambit is the one I want. Rook's Gambit is just so cool. It is take 2 stress to roll your best action instead of any other action. So effectively, you're taking 2 stress to push yourself, but instead of adding 1 die, you are increasing your action size to your best action. So if I'm already rolling my best action, I'm not getting any benefit. I might as well just push myself. But if I'm rolling something I have 0 dice in, which is a lot of things, you can bump that up by just like really leaning heavily into like, well, my consorting has granted me this information in a way that other people couldn't really do, for example. Anyway, that's just bookkeeping stuff. Next is the Sparrows themselves.
Yeah.
Okay, so
you're worth 1. Congratulations.
We are now a tier 1 gang. At the end of each session, for each item below, mark 1 experience, or instead mark 2 if the item occurred multiple times or in a significant way. Execute a successful smuggling operation or acquire new clients or contraband sources. Now, I was thinking about this between the weeks. We were talking at the beginning of the session about how do we want to execute this job, right? Because we're not really people who want to blow up, but we're not really, demolitionists or whatever you want to call it. That's not our usual thing. And we talked about some different ways of approaching it. And I remember, I watched the session back today, saying we could approach it that way, but it wouldn't be smuggling. And we really want that sweet, sweet XP. But I don't think we actually ended up landing on a smuggling job anyway. Not really. Like you could argue that we smuggled a bomb into a party, but that's kind of being like, kind of a stretch for the definition of smuggling, right?
I don't know. Okay. So the thing is, like, it could have been more smuggling. Smuggling could have been more of the challenge if, like, you didn't like have such a good role, like that puts you into like a good position. Right. We did try and get every advantage during engagement, and that really helped. Which that's a really good point that I kind of forgot about.
I think that it's not going to change the experience totals, but like Brant's leaned really hard into his contacts. But I think that you're like the only experience you didn't get was your vices, which is the same for 9s. So
Yeah, I would say
wouldn't change the experience.
Yeah, I guess my point is I would say you should get at least one for doing a smuggling operation.
Okay, great.
Or actually, or 2 because you also acquired a new client.
So that's what I was going to argue for, is that we acquired a new client. And hopefully they're going to be a recurring client. That's really what I want personally, is for Skurlock to be like
a recurring client.
Client. I think that from a directorial stance, he is a very fun character to just have in the game as like a plot device.
Yeah.
But also in character, I think that, 9 certainly thinks of them as this really interesting character that they would like to know more about. And I believe I even took a devil's bargain that Skurlock has developed a personal interest in me, which I don't know what the nature of that personal interest is. So that's fun.
Yeah.
So 2 for the first tick.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna again,
and I think
write in the
you
notes.
could also argue that
contend with challenges above your current station. Again, it's one of those really interesting things where the target was quite high tier.
Yeah.
But the target didn't present a lot of challenges in a weird way. Like, it's like this very odd, like, I don't know entirely how the game wants me to codify these, because if you sucker punch someone, did you contend with challenges above your station? Like, I don't know. Like, I guess you sucker punch them, and if they go ow and punch you back, you contended with those challenges. But if you just, I don't know. Like, I don't know. All I know is that the citizenry of Charter Hall was our target, and they are tier 4, which is 3 tiers higher than us.
I would say, well, these are like they are the 2 because they're fancy nobles that have like,
yeah.
And I see you get at least 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one. Now, this one's always really interesting because, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, did you add the 1 to the number?
Thank you.
Oh, I guess I'm watching stream on the actual thing.
In regards to the new clans as well, I'm not quite sure where we are standing now, but we did do this for the Lost.
It's true.
It's not just they might also be a recurring clientele.
Yeah, we didn't really play out the like payoff scene with the Lost. That would have happened chronologically during the last session, and we did receive our payoff. So we went back to them, and they were like, "Yeah, good job, excellent. Here's the money."
I imagine it was like more of a drop-off situation kind of thing.
Cool. So the point I'm looking at right now is the bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one. Now, our current reputation is, I believe, professional. Right? We're doing a lot of like specifically like for hire jobs, I guess would be the right way of saying that. And well, actually, I can lean into game mechanics to provably say that we did this, in as much that we went up tier. That's bolstering our reputation in a way, right? Yeah. But apart from that, like, how do we generally feel about the idea of bolstering our reputation, right? Like, it's this interesting element of, it's not like there was a scene where we like talk to someone, they're like, yes, I know you are these people, you have a reputation, right? Like,
anyway. I mean, that thing can still happen, I guess.
And like the idea that like people, like, we're accruing rep for these things, like we are doing things that people are noticing, right?
So it's like people have noticed, basically. Yeah.
Now, I wonder did this job actually shift our reputation a bit? Not necessarily overwriting professional, but maybe starting to acquire a new reputation.
Uh,
I don't know.
Well, okay, so I guess like a thing of like a lot of crews wouldn't take that job.
Right.
That's like the thing,
Mhm.
which is like, I mean, you did because the money was good, which is like, kind of makes me think that that's like being professional.
Okay.
Yeah, or I don't know, maybe it's like not quite there, but it's like that's like my picture of it at least.
Cool. Yeah. So it's not an element of like we're acquiring a new reputation of like, bloodthirsty or anything. So that's good. I don't want that reputation. So I think that's at least one for bolstering your reputation. It's not like it happened multiple times, but it might have happened in a significant way. That's debatable. I'm going to move on to the next one. We can sort of come back to that one. Express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew. Oh, this is such a like. It's really fun watching back the episodes and
Nice.
being like, oh yeah, this one like little like heart to heart moment had all these cool things, but like as soon as the scene's over, I forget it all. like I know it's there, but I don't like in the specifics. It's like I don't remember what we did that made that feel like such a good scene, but there's a great moment actually near the end where Simon just sort of apropos of nothing starts talking about how cool this like crew clicks and stuff, and like not even clicks in like a working together way, but like this like organically produced web of characters, even though it's only like 3 or 4. And
I forgot completely about that.
yeah, so giving specific examples about expressing the goals. I mean, I've talked a bunch about Brant's, and like it's not even just Brant's, but like Brant's and Nines have like a lot of conversations about like where are we going, right? How are we going to deal with this sort of thing that comes up? Being a gang means this is going to happen sometime. Like planning ahead for incarceration, right? All of these things are like goals and drives and things that are related to the crew, not just the individuals. So I think that's one there. And then there's the inner conflict, which didn't come up much, right? Because Nines and Brant's have gotten along really well since they started working together. And Ramiro was not here today or last week, to cause any inner conflict.
I guess that is kind of the conflict, is in a weird way. The absence of it kind of. I guess if you really wanted to, you could argue that Ramiro's absence is a conflict.
Just on its own. Yeah. I mean, did it come up in that session though, right? Even if generally when you're like writing the synopsis of the show as a whole, yes, right? But like, did it come up? Was that actually an issue there? Were we in scenes where we're like, crap, we really could use Ramiro right here. Dang it. What a flake, right? Like, I don't think so. But I would argue that we hit a lot of notes regarding the crew's goals, drives, and essential nature, and I would argue for 2 points.
Yeah, I can see that.
Cool. So with that in mind, I think just taking 1 point for bolstering the crew's reputation feels good. I don't think it needs to be more than 1. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I would say that sounds fair.
Cool. GM?
Yeah, I'd agree.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We are once again 1 away from an advance.
Ain't that the way?
Which, again, is like actually not bad. It means that we get to think about it and plan ahead and stuff instead of spending a bunch of time right now.
Yeah, that's fair.
Trying to figure it out. And honestly, what's fun about something like this is we get to very specifically be like, let's shoot for something, right? There's some really interesting things like leverage. Your crew supplies contraband for other factions. Your success is good for them. whenever you gain rep, gain +1 rep. If we lean towards those elements, it'll feel a lot more organic when we buy that ability, right? Or, for example, getting a cohort of Reavers. Having a ship crew as a real cohort and not just a contact sounds awesome, and I'd be very into it. So leaning towards that, knowing that we're going to be buying in a new advance next session, yeah, you can make that transition more organic. Now, because actually having an ability or actually having an upgrade is significantly different than just having the fictional positioning, but you want it all to be cohesive. So I don't know where we want to go with that. I feel like those two both look really interesting. But that's just my thoughts. I think probably if I was going to choose now what I want, I would say cohort, they're rovers, not reavers. The elite rovers cohort, I think, is something I would think we should push towards. We are tier 1 now. Yeah. It's time to start getting gang members who are not us to go do jobs for us and things and be, our carriage drivers and boat pilots and things like that. I was thinking between the weeks.
Right word. I'm not sure, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking between the weeks how now that we're tier 1, Tressa has 2 dice in everything. We got to start putting her to work. Because experts have tiers in dice +1. And the thing is, we agreed early on that we're not going to just, use that rule to get her to do things that she shouldn't be actually good at. Which means we need to be putting her in a position to make roles that are relevant to her job, right? And her job is office work. And I remember early, we said it would be great to have Tressa eventually become the head dispatcher for our rovers. So that's something I'd like to push for. And this is us talking as a meta thing. In game, we should also, as characters, decide whether or not we want to push for those sorts of things. And probably there will be scenes with 9s is you gotta start expanding your business or whatever, right? So that's something I think to keep in mind if that's something we want to do. And the beautiful thing about getting upgrades is you get 2 boxes of upgrades, which means we can either take 2 things or we can start putting ticks towards mastery. None of us are really in a position to benefit from mastery yet, because mastery means you are allowed to increase an action to 4 dice. They max out at 3 until you get mastery. But I don't think any of us have 3 dice in anything yet.
Yeah.
So it's something to work towards, but we don't need it right away. So putting 1 upgrade towards it is good because you need 4 upgrades total to get mastery. Anyway, this is all bookkeeping stuff. So, yes, I think that is it for the end of session, as it were, beginning of session in our case.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think we got through it pretty fast, also. So.
Yeah. So, where do we want to pick up? Set the scene for us, B.
I don't know. I think y'all are reading a letter. It's kind of
back in the office. We haven't had a good office scene in a while.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I would say, so you just you've been having communication with Lord Skurlock.
Yeah, some time's passed. I think it's another one of those sequences where we put a spotlight on the sort of day-to-day smuggling operations that the crew does, right? We've hinted at these a few times, that idea that the scores that we actually play at are the big significant ones. But yeah, we're doing
your milk runs,
right? Yeah, we probably we open on Brant's reading this letter, and 9s pushes the door open and walks in, just ugh, as if they just ran a mile or something, doing some legwork between here and somewhere else. Yeah,
Nice.
like running a package, like we're doing courier services now. Like this is the legitimate business.
So yeah, like
I got like this
I don't
empty
know.
bag with me. Yeah.
You didn't get incriminated for this stuff, but also people have like heard and like have more people have been coming to your services because you're as a tier 1 crew.
Mhm.
You have like people want you to do stuff for them.
Yeah. So like the scene opens with me like just you hear the door like ring as it like slams open. I'm just like panting a bit, like, oh, we gotta get some other people on staff. This is too much. Like, just like comes and flops down on the couch. What are you reading there? And you can continue where you left off. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So I just kind of think about what you'd be talking about. And I feel like, Lord Scar's been like kind of cagey or like cagey out. He's just like always like this.
Yeah.
Like just very like he keeps it close to his chest. He speaks in like kind of vagaries and like yeah. But he
has purple prose that is hard to decode.
Yeah. But I would say like, so he's like talking about like how like he's looking for specifically a boat that has a crane, basically. That's like kind of the main thing you've been able to get. Yeah, he wants like a boat that has like he wants to dredge something up.
Yeah. Okay.
It sounds like.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll let Brant actually tell me that before I react.
Yeah.
So I'm asking you, like, what are you reading there? As I slop down.
Yeah, just going through the letter again from our friend. Seems that Skurlock wants not only a boat, but a boat with a crane, and it's gonna be annoying to procure.
A crane. One of you found something out there in the Neversea? Trying to dredge something up?
Evidently.
Oh, that's just asking for trouble. I'm interested.
Yeah. I kind of don't want to know, but I kind of do.
Right? Isn't that always the way? Skurlock.
Okay, so I'm just going through contacts and friends.
Is he just going to send us out? Do we know?
What do you say?
Is he going to be on the boat, or
hell
just
no.
sending us out?
You're asking me, right?
I mean, I'm asking Simon, but Simon would need to ask you, so I might as well be asking you. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Well, no. That's you can tell by things. He's not he expects you to do this. He don't.
Right. But so he's giving us like coordinates, or like what is he? He probably hasn't told us stuff yet, right? But
he understands you don't have a vote yet. You've probably been a bit more open about it.
I don't know about that.
Or not about like no. You tell me you're in the Sparrows, didn't you? Or
yeah, we have a boat. Shut up.
All right. Okay. Well, in that case, he expects you to. Sorry for assuming, but in that case, yeah, he expects like you've in that case you probably give him like some story about it's like we have to. You might even be like,
you need a crane. Oh yeah, we don't have a boat with a crane. I'll have to get one of something.
Yeah. You'll say something like, Mass is probably like, we gotta get something installed. Blah blah
yeah,
blah.
Totally. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, in that case, yeah. He says like he's so how to say.
Right. So, like, do we have all these details now in letter, or are we gonna meet him somewhere? Like, what's sort of like how the what do we think is gonna happen as far as like knowing coordinates and junk? Because like that's a whole thing.
Well, I guess my point is that like he's expecting this to happen like at least within a month.
Sure.
But he and once you're ready, he will give you the coordinates. He does not wish to.
So he has a way of telling us where to drop the thing, and does he tell us what we're looking for? And again, this is like, will he be? I guess.
No, he does not.
Okay, so how do we know if we find it?
He doesn't. He's saying when you're ready. When you're ready, I'll give you what you need to know.
Okay, so we have been promised the information eventually. That's fine. That's all I really need to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh. All right, so going out there on the sea. Too much experience out there.
Yeah, fair amount. It's not.
Lots of things that are gonna want to do us harm. Any thoughts about precaution? I mean, yeah, sure, we need to get a ship, but that's the least of our worries if we're gonna be out past the walls.
And then it was. I'd assume it was relatively close to Doskvol, right?
What is?
The job. Yeah, job, that's the word.
Yeah, I feel like Sherlock would have told us at least like sort of ballpark what we're doing, right?
Yeah, totally. So it's not like you don't have to go way out there. It's not. You probably still be in like sight of the city, but it is like out there beyond the walls.
Within sight of the city.
Okay. We could kind of bring that up just because I feel like that, like depending on where it is, I might have more or less experience with open seas.
Yeah. So I guess probably Nines doesn't have an answer to this, but maybe Brance does. Is there like an area of Neversea that's near the city, right? Like near the shore that you just never see Leviathans. They don't get that close because it's not like deep enough water or something.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So do we know if we're going to be in a Leviathan potential situation?
No, you will not be going to Leviathan potential situation.
That makes me a lot happier.
yeah, because he would not like it. Like yeah,
I mean, we're expendables, right? That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. I mean, yes, basically yes. He's actually very open on that. But he is. But yeah, he's not saying bring weapons or anything like that, but he does. But you will need to like be out there for a while and like be able to like hold yourself, basically.
All
not
right.
like don't go too mad out there.
So let's talk a bit about mechanics here, right?
Yeah.
The game is a little loosey-goosey with like free play and score, right? Like it very stringently says this is downtime and this is the score. But then there's sort of free play where it's kind of like, how much of that do you get? And I'm wondering if this is two jobs. One is actually the prep and one is the actual job. Or if this is just free play for us to get set up.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Okay, so I think it's like
this depends on what we want to do. Let me go over what I want to do.
Yeah, basically, yeah. If you want it.
So, Branson and Nines sort of, talk a bit about like what we know about what we've been asked to do and and like how we can make arrangements. And Nines is saying something like, if you can get the ship all set up, I think I might be able to arrange some protections for us while we're out there. I don't, even if we're not going into Leviathan territory, you got ghosts to deal with.
Yeah, there's
And it's not just even ghosts, it's whatever we're digging up. For all I know, that's going to explode when we pull it to the surface, right? So, a lot of stuff to think about, and we'll take some precautions. Can you handle the ship?
Yeah.
Right.
So what kind of prediction are you thinking of?
I am going to recruit some witchier people than us.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's
Nice.
going to be like people I know, people I have some rapport with that might be able to help out. And I'm going to be vague now. I'll do it when the scene happens. So yeah, I'm going to be going to people. I'm going to be seeing if they're willing to do this work. They probably won't, and then we'll see where it goes from there. I don't intend to be like I'm going to track down some whisperers, and hire a bunch of new people that aren't part of aren't part of the crew or anything. They are already like on my contact sheet and that kind of stuff, right? So cool. That is sort of the direction I'm looking. There might be some other precautions I end up taking, like do some studying and stuff, but I don't actually have any studies, so probably not that. Mostly contact leaning is what I want to be doing right now. Yeah. But we do, like you said, not have a ship. So what is your sort of approach, Brantz?
I'm thinking the kind of thing it's just kind of studying where we intended to go, tides, weather, that kind of stuff.
Look at all the
Then-
practical things. I love it.
Yeah.
I actually pay attention to
Then
like
further-
navigating and stuff. Like,
Yeah. Then like further in is just kind of worker schedules. There might be a Coast Guard, there might not. I don't know, that kind of thing. It's just then who's working in that general area, and seeing if I could sway anyone to our needs.
Cool. Yeah. We previously established how we started building rapport with these people who have ships. I don't know if they have a ship that's appropriate or not for this what we're going to need right now. Maybe not. I think it did have cargo, so it might have like a cargo loader, which isn't really the same thing, but it might be enough. I don't know.
I'm sure you can
But
make
even if not, like those would be people that, even though they're not, capital C contacts yet, they might be able to be influenced to help us get what we need, at least on a short-term basis. I also think maybe we can lean into the, what do you call it? Cargo types, our hunting ground style bonus, which is that you get a bonus downtime if you are dealing with specifically the smuggling of supernatural weirdness junk.
Yeah.
Now, this is a kind of a weird job because I assume that the point is that we are smuggling something bad, but we're also like extracting the something bad, not just smuggling it. So,
Also, yeah. Well, actually, yeah, it would be worth pointing out that like blue coats do have boats that they are like moving. They do like inspect. They do like.
Yeah, this is like a rum running operation, except for we have to like go get the rum first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the point is, I think maybe we can lean in because I mean, it goes without saying, this is some supernatural weirdness, right? So
yeah,
I mean, it's Lord Squirlock.
So if there's anything that we think we can do via downtime, we probably can lean into our bonus downtime action for the purposes of prepping for this, right? There is a downtime action, which is straight up acquire an asset, where you just roll dice equal to your tier and you get a thing, and hopefully it's good. The downside of this is that if you roll badly, you get the thing and it's crap. Like, it's just like, well, I don't want a crap thing. I'd rather, spend a few scenes making a few rolls and actually getting a good thing, right? And that's sort of the weirdness of how much are we allowed to do without spending a downtime action? I don't really know what the system allows. What was I looking for? Oh yeah, 9s. Oh, I should mute myself while I'm typing. I say as I don't. So, Simon, you talk about... Oh, Simon's muted. Never mind. B, you talk about something while I type a thing.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
it was a
So
four-wheeler
I guess
passing
like,
by.
I'm kind of thinking, like, thinking about how the rules are. I'm thinking, like, what, like, thinking, like, with the game, John Harvard, the game designer.
Mhm.
I would say, like, the downtime stuff is, like, stuff you don't necessarily... You could do a scene for, but you don't necessarily have to do a scene for. It's, like,
Right.
the idea. Like, I think, like, the fact that you have, like, limited downtime actions is, like, encourage you to do scenes, whether in, like, free play or in an actual score. Which is, like... That's my thinking, at least. So it's like, I think, like, so with that regard, like, if you're doing, like, a more so if you like, get the thing and it's crap, you don't have a downtime action anymore, but you could do, like, a more complicated thing in, like, free play to get a better like winch or whatever, or fix it up or something like that, or just get a straight up different one that's better, and, like, saying, just be like, no, you don't want this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That is my thinking, at least.
I keep looking at these scores and thinking, like, or the legwork could be its own. It could be part of the job, but because of the way engagement works, they kind of don't want you to do that, right?
Yeah.
And as such, we end up
Yeah.
spending a lot of time prepping for a job, and then the jobs end up being a lot, like, smoother and shorter, which I'm perfectly fine with. It just feels a bit unintentional. Anyway, just something I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
And I think that does play into our experiences with other games.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
So, assuming we are able to sort of go our separate ways and do a little bit of prep and meet up here for the job when we are ready,
Yeah.
I'd love to do that. I think that'd be great.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So
Perfect.
what? So yeah, what are you gonna do to, like, track down some whispers? I think they're whispers, not whisperers.
They are whispers, but I'm not gonna track down whispers. Not to
Alright.
start, at least.
Or
They track you.
or whispers that you know. I guess is, like, what you apply.
Yeah. So, as a slide, oops, that moved. I'm gonna put that back. There it is. As a slide, my friends are a drug dealer, a gang leader, a tavern owner, a prostitute, a jailbird, and that's it. I also have written down on my sheet Maybell a ghost, which is cool, but I don't really know how much they count as a contact or not. We sort of, like, started dealing with them. They're at least an NPC I could talk to.
Yeah, if you want to know what's happening at parks, you probably know. She's there all the time.
Right. But what we see, right, is, like, I say this stuff. I say I'm gonna go, do some prep, and I leave. And we need to make some choices about Nirix, a prostitute. I don't know what district they work in. I haven't decided what they look like or who they are or anything like that. If you have any thoughts, I'd love to hear it. But the thing that we as players know that is not super obvious from me, what I've said so far, is that Nirix is actually a ghost who is possessing a body, right? So if you have any cool thoughts about who this person might be, I would love to hear it, and I would like to talk to them about their experiences and stuff. So I am proposing that Nines does know that they are a ghost.
Yeah, I would say that too. You have, like, ghost.
I have some ghost stuff. I have the specific ability that lets me speak to ghosts, no matter how feral they are, and that kind of stuff. It's cool.
Yeah.
And the fun thing about Nirix is that I chose them as my down arrow relation. Now, this is referred to not just as an enemy, but as an enemy or rival. And I think that we have crossed paths before. We know each other. We are, we have enough of a relationship that we are contacts. And it is not this like, oh, it's you, I'm going to kill you. It is a very like rivalry relationship. I think I know too much and it's sort of an issue, but also we have this like shared history and they don't hate me. It's just this like weird. It's like a strained relationship more than anything else. And that is the relationship I'd like to bring into the game, and well, see how it goes. I don't know what's going to happen in the scene.
Yeah,
but I do want to leave things somewhat open for you to bring in whatever elements that you want from Nyrix.
Yeah.
So-
Let's see. So, yeah, is there one?
The first thing I would like to propose,
Yeah, sure.
which is not something I thought about until just now, is that
Oh,
so something I was previously thinking is that they probably have a primary district that they work because they are a sex worker, and that's just sort of, unless they work at the brothel, which maybe they do, right? I don't know. They might actually be someone that works at the brothel that Ramira frequents. Like, who knows? We could make this web even messier, and that would be fun. But I think maybe they work like independently in Nightmarket, just for the sake of driving home our theme.
Yeah, totally.
Which I would imagine is, even though they are not like in a brothel, is still quite high end in a way because of the neighborhood.
Actually, I like to think that she's like more of a. So what
concubine.
What I'm kind of thinking of, like maybe like being a ghost is like part of the appeal to like the people she, like she attracts weird clients who like the idea of sexing a ghost, I guess.
Interesting. So the thing about them being a ghost, right, is that their body isn't a ghost.
Oh yeah,
I don't think they're possessing their own body or anything.
Well, no, but I think
means there's something really like messed up about the concept that I don't know how. There's like a moral argument there that I think having that be kind of like the appeal is a little, I don't know, but maybe it is, right? Like it's just something to think about before we like make these decisions.
Or I don't know, maybe like so that's like another interesting.
I mean, I don't know the specifics, right?
Maybe they're like in like communication with each other. I don't know. So
I don't know, right? This is you want to bring up
the actually, what's the term in this world for like when it goes possesses the corpse?
Yeah, there are things like that. Do you want to bring up the spirit information section in the book?
Yeah.
There is some interesting stuff regarding that. Because, like, for example, we have talked previously about how Skurlock is probably a vampire. And vampire does not mean...
I'll have you know that is a rumor.
It is an unfounded rumor. There's no claim at all, no evidence.
It's an unfounded rumor that it's totally a vampire.
So the point is that like a vampire is a possessing spirit bonding with a living body to become a vampire. This can happen if a ghost possesses a victim for too long, thereby destroying its original spirit, or when a hollow, which is defined previously, is specifically prepared for the purpose by ancient ritual. Which means there's no person in that body. They have the person has been replaced by the spirit, right? Yeah. And therefore, you're using someone else's body, which is still weird and messed up, but you're not, like,
or I don't know, we don't
mind controlling somebody in a way, right? That's a vampire. Nyrix probably is not a vampire. I'm just using that for context.
Yeah, but also it's like a thing of like, we actually don't know if she does have a body, do we? Or we kind of Nyrix. So
Nyrix is described in the Whisper playbook. The reason that she is like an interesting contact is that on the slide playbook, she is described only as a prostitute, whereas in the Whisper playbook, same name is used. The implication is that it's the same person, and that obviously she has friends with Whisperers if they're on the Whisper playbook. But I'm not planning on using her as a go-between. I'm actually hoping to get them to help me out because they are a spirit and they might be able to do some cool stuff. I don't actually know if they can move to the lightning fields. Maybe
Like on the Whisper playbook, she's a ghost, right? Or am I?
In the Whisper playbook, she is referred to as a possessor ghost. Which, how do you interpret that? I don't necessarily know.
Well, I don't know. I say like a possessor ghost might be a ghost that like doesn't like it's not exclusive to one body.
Maybe.
So,
I mean, there's lots of different interpretations, and they're all, they all play with. In this specific context, they very, very much mess with the concept of consent, and it's something to not gloss over, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, fair.
It can be bad, right? We can include problematic content. It's just as long as we acknowledge it. So a ghost is described as a spirit without a body, craving life essence and vengeance on its earthly enemies. Composed of semi-solid electroplasmic vapors, suffers limited harm from physical attacks, but is vulnerable to electricity and arcane power. Then there is the possessed, is a living body containing two or more spirits, as in its original spirit and another. And then the soul is a living body with its own spirit.
So I don't know. I think it could be like.
The other thing I want to look at is there are extended descriptions of all of the contexts. So I'm going to take a look and see if there's actually any suggestion about this before. But please, while I look this up.
Yeah. So I'm also like kind of interested in the idea of like maybe there are people that are like into being possessed. And,
sure. Right. So they're a ghost who possesses people, and that is itself the like sex work, as it were.
Yeah.
All right. So Nyrix, a prostitute, perhaps an informant to spark potential marks, or perhaps a rival manipulator. So because this is from the slide perspective, that's all it talks about, right?
Yeah.
I only know them as that, at least, by normally the normal situation. I'm leaning on my ghost voice to say I'd like to know them as possessor ghost. And their possessor ghost is described as perhaps a good source for targets, or perhaps a spirit that escaped from your service. So it's not too specific. It doesn't really say what that means. All we really know is that they're a ghost. Possessor is not defined anywhere else in the book, as far as I know. It's also, so. Yep. So we can do whatever we want with it. And that is like my favorite part of the game, is all the like weird things you can just do whatever you want with, right? I like when they're not defined, but sometimes they can help nudge you in a direction. So something to think about is that ghosts they lose their like grip on reality normally. The longer they're alive, or the longer they remain, they more deranged they become. So how do they avoid that thing? Are they just a really new ghost? Lots of stuff to think about.
I think it's like it depends on like who you were in life. I feel like it's like some people are like more like they go feral at like different rates. It's like my feeling.
Sure. I mean, something like a vampire has the like body to temper it, I think, and I think that's part of why, right? It's a possessing spirit that bonds with the living body, as opposed to this ghost who is not bonded with the living body. Right? They also have a lot of weird stuff where like vampire sustains its energy by feeding on life essence and stuff. So like, I mean, lots of stuff going on there. But like I don't know if it talks actually in the book about like how ghosts of different ages. So again, it's been a while since I brought this up. Ghost Lines, the prior game. There's a whole bunch of stuff in that book about like you like when you encounter a ghost, you roll for like how long it's been dead, and like it's sort of like if you think about D&D dragons, like the older they're dead, the more powerful they are, right? It's very much like that, but they're also like more insane and hard to deal with because you can't speak with them, which is part of the benefit of ghost voice, and why I want to like know this person in this way that maybe they are kind of I don't know how they managed to have successful. Anyway, stuff I wanted to bring up before we like decide on anything, but I am happy to go with whatever like cool idea you have that you're excited about. So don't let me like stamp on where you were going with that.
Yeah, I like the idea of she is a ghost that is she's a prostitute who are into the idea of being possessed.
Okay.
And which is obviously a very dangerous game, but like she is like a trusted ghost to do this with, if you know the right people and the right whisper people. Which people like probably find out about her through various whispers. Also she has sometimes she works with people to it's like a body on loan to for like more conventional stuff. But yeah,
a body on loan. What do you mean?
As in like she might like
do they have like a primary body that they use? Because you're saying interested in being possessed, which made me assume that they were like sort of a free roaming ghost who.
Yeah. I think she has a body normally. She knows people. She also like knows people like that. That can like give her a body if like she wants to.
Okay.
If a client also wants that.
All right. I'm gonna have to think about this for a bit, because I think that I never really settled on exactly the nature of our rivalry or the tenseness of our relationship. But one of the earliest thoughts I had on it was that I sort of I discovered their secret in a way, but you're saying it's sort of an open secret, so that wouldn't really be a thing. So I need to sort of think about what I want to do with that.
It's an open secret, but also it's like if the people I forget who are the folks in the mask that like are responsible for getting rid of the ghosts.
The spirit wardens are the officially sanctioned department of the city who deals with ghosts.
The spirit wardens don't want her around,
right?
So like you might have exposed her to them,
this is also something where now this is getting a bit too maybe I'm stretching too far here, but I think maybe there's a strain to the relationship in that, due to my ability to deal with ghosts in a way that most people cannot, they kind of can't control themselves around me in the way that they can other people, and that is I'd rather just not deal with you kind of a thing.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Right, I can sort of get in their head in a way, and it's not
she's been fooled by you before, or not fooled.
Yeah, fooled's the wrong word, but there's this element of, in our past relations, they have felt less in control of their decisions and stuff. I'm able to convince them of things they otherwise would not agree to, and that's not saying it that way makes it seem like I'm really pushing them to do bad things or whatever, or blurring those lines of consent and stuff, which is not my intent. It's just I'm trying to lean into those I don't know from lived experience, but I've seen enough movies where there's a character that's you really shouldn't you get dumb when you're around your ex. He's bad for you. Stop it, right? And I think it's kind of like that, where it's everyone knows that
you want it to be an ex?
I mean,
because I kind of like that idea if you're okay with it.
I think. Okay, so here's a question. They're a ghost. What sort of ghost wards does Ironhook have?
Aside ghost words.
What sort of ghost words does Ironhook have? Does this character walk in through walls and service people? Right? Like, is there an idea of like, hey,
ward.
you can't bring anyone else in here, but ghosts can come on in.
Yeah, I would say yeah. Like most I think most people in Ironhook don't have like the resources for her services, but like yeah, she probably hasn't done before at least a couple times.
Yeah, like I think that there's certainly an opportunity there, depending on how like secure Ironhook is, right? But like the idea of saying this is someone who went, hey, there's an untapped market there, right? Like,
yeah,
no one can really get in, so that's an opportunity for me. I could see that. That seems like a believable situation. And in that case, sure, maybe I knew them when I was in jail.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, when I was using the example of like an ex, the thought I was really sort of leaning into was more of the concept of
like temptation kind of thing.
Yeah, or just like regardless of like how that actually manifests, it's like, there's sort of again, like I can't think of a way of saying it without it sounding like real bad. Like, but I think you're getting the point I'm making, and I'm gonna just like drop it. Anyway, yeah. So I think that's like the general stuff. I know like where they tend to work. Obviously, I'm now establishing that they occasionally will work within the walls of Ironhook, which is cool. I think that's interesting. I could just move them entirely to Ironhook. That would be a fascinating concept. But you're saying that probably not. That's like a rare thing. That's like if a gang leader gets taken in, who has the like capabilities, the resources. That might be something that happens. But it's not like most prisoners are going to be contacting and.
Also, it's like a very like kind of specific thing. Like, most guys feel like we'd rather stay away from ghosts.
Right. Sure.
Yeah.
I mean. Yeah. No. Yeah. So anyway, that's the person. We've sort of hashed out the basic concept of who they are, and I'm gonna go say hi. I don't know how long it's been, but I'm gonna say hi. Yeah.
Yeah. So I say you find her like she has like a haunt. It's like kind of a like. So it's like it's actually kind of it's like a small like kind of plot like a graveyard in Nightmarket. So I say like kind of
sure
more towards the southern side, and yeah, so it's where people go like to like when they want to like she also does like she also like takes part in like rituals and stuff like that when people want to do, and it's like
yeah it's like it's this we're presenting it as like you hear a lot about how like sex workers get employed as like for emotional labor in a way that like they're it's not their bread and butter, but it is like a thing that they end up doing because there's like a spillover of demand. Anyway. Yeah, totally. So like same sort of idea, right? This is I
think like she's like kind of dressed up her grave because I guess that's like her like stall as it were. Is like she's kind of dressed her grave is like being like to me look extra the part like extra spooky and like extra like she has like some oh gosh I don't know.
I wasn't sure if you were gonna say extra spooky or just like extra like everybody leaves flowers at this grave because everybody loves Nirix. I mean, they would like whose grave is it, right? It's not Nirix's grave, I would imagine. Maybe is it actually their grave?
Yeah, I think it's like their grave.
Oh dang, okay.
Yeah, like but I don't know. Well, it's not a grave. It's like a mausoleum. As I guess what I'm thinking of.
Sure. Yeah.
And it's like kind of I don't know, like she like kind of like so there's like kind of a mystique of ghosts where like they people like are into like the whole like arcane stuff, and like she actually has like
Sure.
like but like arcane or that like kind of don't really do anything, but like are like kind of but like they kind of signal to like a potential client that this is like gonna be a spooky experience or something
Cool.
like that.
Can I ask some questions about like Nerix the person?
Yeah, sure.
Like, how long ago did they die?
It's like 35 years ago.
35?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, you don't have to come up with a whole backstory of how somebody died and like how old they were and everything, but like these are interesting questions and I'm curious about them, but like I understand that that's like a lot. That's a big ask.
Yeah. No, I would say she
But,
was like
okay, go ahead.
she well no, she was just like she was actually killed by she's like a like kind of a noble like not she's like kind of a noble woman. She was actually killed by her, or at least it's like the story she says that she was like she is that she was like killed by her lover for because she because and this might be true. She like if you like reduce the thing of her, she you might see that she was like known for being like kind of what like Finlanderer, I guess. Like yeah. I say this. Like,
Was
this
she like a sex worker in life? I mean, I don't have to know these things.
No, but she was like kind of I don't know.
Sure. Yeah. No. Great. I mean,
Yeah.
it is an interesting question of like what a ghost gets out of any form of labor, right? Like,
Yeah.
to the point where I would not be surprised if there is an element that it's like, yeah, this is like a job, but I'm doing it like because it's something to do. Right?
I imagine like she's right. Also, it's like kind of I don't know. She like I mean, there's like things like ghosts can do with money.
Sure,
Like
totally,
she
right?
she doesn't eat, but like she does
that
like
makes sense, right? And I do like the flavor of like I'm getting an echo, and your might be.
sorry.
There's like interesting flavor of you go to this mausoleum and it's just like nicer than all the others. It has like decor, like because she actually makes money and spends it. Like
and like
so does she have like
she has like real like people are she has like
a minor cult?
Ooh, I like that idea actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so actually, yeah, it's like more is like kind of
like it can't be a huge thing. It's like this is a ghost. This is not a god, right? But the idea that she needs people to help her out and stuff, and probably this cult also like, hey, this is a funding thing because she has to like she needs people to help her with her own business, so therefore we can get a cut of that if we help and da 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 da. And also it's probably like a very like whatever faction is most antagonistic to the Church of the Ecstasy of the Flesh, right? This is the opposite of that. Like, or not the opposite, right. It's parallel. Church of the Ecstasy of the Spirit. So anyway, there probably aren't even that many people, right? I mean, like we have a tier 1 gang and there's 2 of us, right? Like it could just be one person, but you know.
Well, no, she has like she has like people she like hires out to like I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you got to keep them like relatively small because if she gets found out, she gets killed. I mean, you could say that that's also true about like all the gangs that operate in Doskvol. So
whatever. Like, she's been doing a lot of keeping her secret, so like only the right people know.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and it's like. Yeah, so I think it actually might be a thing of like. So like the story about her being killed by her lover is actually not the story she like goes with when she, for most people at least.
Okay. Is that true and I know it?
It's true.
But it's not.
It's true you know it, but the cult is like kind of under the impression that she is like a spirit like from the long before times and like kind of and from like an ancient spirit kind of thing, like, and
That's cool.
yeah.
Why is she hanging out in this other person's grave? Did she go by Nerix? Is it because is Nerix her actual name, right?
No,
Because I think it might not be, right?
No,
But,
her actual name is Sandra.
Pardon?
Sandra or something like that.
Okay, sure. Right, and it's a mausoleum. There's more than one actual like body interred here. One of them is Sandra.
Yeah.
Okay, I buy it. I buy that totally.
Yeah.
I also feel like I am dominating a lot of space, and I'd love to see what Simon wants to do before we actually see the scene.
Yeah.
I think it's just like I was saying earlier. It's just gathering information and then seeing what to do about gathering resources, and that might include people. And I feel like this would be the kind of thing where might maybe should work with. I have a brain fart. Okay. Tressa, there we go.
Yeah, let's get some Tressa scenes.
Yeah.
I'm fine with waiting until your scene is played out first.
All right,
Like,
cool.
I feel like
was
that-
there something you were going
That
to add to the? Sorry, I'm talking over you. Was there something you were about to like add to our discussion? I feel like I kind of almost like cut you off with something.
I was thinking, the only thought I have is that maybe one of the things to consider why not Tressa, why Nerix might do that is just kind of could be trying to gather how would you say, like, for lack of a better term, arcane trinkets to kind of keep her together.
To keep her together? What do you mean?
Like, I
Sorry.
was thinking,
Oh,
like,
not,
it might be, like,
not feral.
yeah, and,
Oh,
and I feel
that
like
makes
that might be
sense,
the kind of thing
yeah.
that,
Like Whispers help her do that. I could see that.
yeah, that might be a factor into why.
I'm also really liking this idea that like she's pulling the wool over the eyes of her followers or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
Because that like plays into this like the thing I was originally saying, which is that like I know her secret. It wasn't that she's a ghost; it's that she's, you know, not this ancient spirit that is worthy of worship.
Yeah.
So
And
that's
also it's like kind of, I don't know, people want to. Also, it's like kind of a weird sex cult that makes money. It's like is also like kind of thing about it, which is like I think like it's the main thing. That's like kind of the main thing that she's in it for, is like kind of the money which she spends on like things that keep her like life going, basically.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Cool.
I'm just trying to figure out like, because I didn't have to choose her as a downward relationship. I just thought it would be interesting if it was messy. So I'm trying to like figure out in what ways it's messy, right?
Yeah.
So, all right.
Yeah. So you come over to her mausoleum.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of they can't afford to like dress up too nice because they don't want people to be. So
Yeah,
just like
I was like picturing this thing of like you walk up to the mausoleum and there's like these people in robes on either side. It's like, no, there's not. Like you can't. That's way too much.
no. Well, sometimes there are, but it's like, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like it's more like people who come to show their respects, and those like a lot of those people are the actual people on our payroll.
Yeah, actually, I've actually just like this old, there's like this old like kind of groundskeeper person that's like that you pass by who's like, oh, you're another one of those people to going to the museum. Yeah, a lot of people come to pay their respects. Weird.
I thought you were gonna say the groundskeeper was like part of the cult, which I think sounds awesome.
No, he's just like
that'd be so good. I want to make that character now. He's just like runs a like they're the not like the groundskeeper of a cemetery, and they're also like a wizard. Like sounds awesome.
Oh, actually, yeah. So maybe that is the case. Maybe he is like
it's like why they're able to be here all the time.
So he does like the same thing. Like gives you like a sly like wink. Like
sure.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so it's like I don't know. Yeah, and
I think that's fun because like it's like plainclothes cultists, right? Like
yeah. It's those concepts are fun.
yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
but yeah, it's you come over here and like there's like there's like a thing where like as you go in, like kind of like the like kind of room darkens and it's like a booming voice where it's like, oh, some poor soul has has has
How
come
do
to
they know I'm not just a normal person? They're really playing their hand here.
so seeks the true and then like lights come on. It's like, oh, it's you, like kind of thing. Like I think maybe it's like Degrassi like sent word that like a client had come.
Sure,
like,
that works. Okay, yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And there's a lot of weird whisper like telepathic stuff. So like could very easily just like ping them with their brain. Someone's coming. Yep, definitely. Totally not a spirit warden. Checks out.
Yeah.
And then I do like this like dramatic thing, and then just like oh, it's you. What do you want, right? I'm just like
Yeah.
hey, doll. How you doing, doll?
Fine, I suppose.
Look, I don't. What's happened behind us? I'm not here to dig up anything. All right, just gonna be going up past the lightning wall and wondering if I could get some. Well, I guess I kind of need to back up a bit because I don't even know if what I was originally thinking is possible.
Well,
Because
okay,
I was
well,
originally intending to like bring them with us, and I don't know if I can because there's a big wall of electricity.
yeah, it's like
Like
wait,
clearly
what?
the boats go through it and don't die because it
Yeah.
is literally like electricity. It's not just like
Yeah.
so maybe a ghost on that boat would actually be fine.
Yeah. Well,
Even if it wasn't, I could take them in my body, so that would work.
Yeah. Also, I think she wouldn't be nervous, but like would be. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so just back into the scene.
Yeah.
Going to be heading out. I'm not really sure what's going to be out there, but I think having a friend on the other side might be a thing that gets me out of there alive.
So you want my help? Is that correct?
You don't have to say it like that, but yeah.
Ooh.
Well, I suppose you do owe me.
Have you met your new neighbor actually? Out there in Agnes Memorial.
Oh, wait. Are you speaking this on specific, or are you?
Yeah, I'm talking about Maybell.
Oh,
Hey, Bell.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't know exactly what the proximity is, but they're in the same district.
Yeah, I don't think she. Yeah, I guess I think that this would be farther away, but it could be closer.
There it goes.
Yeah, there goes. They can. They're all in the same ghost field.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Okay. It's like. Oh, I guess her. She. Yeah. No, she's just like. Not,
She's still young, kind of naive, doesn't really know what's going on with the ghost stuff, huh?
Yeah. She's.
Thought I might ask her along too.
Honestly, it's boring. She bores me, to be honest.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe she also might be able to help, but kept thinking about it. And not a chance, right?
Yeah.
Need someone with a bit more experience.
Let's see. Well, I suppose it all depends on what you can give me.
Suppose it does, don't it?
Yeah.
I
do have. Sorry, I do have one thing. I could use like a friend for a new endeavor down the line, if that would be if I know.
You like lean in like coyly, I guess. I don't know. This is just like a spirit floating in front of me, right? Like they don't have a body with them. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. It's actually it's more of it's like actually she's right. She's like she's like a floating head, like she enters.
Oh, she's
She's
just
like
like a head right now. She doesn't
Yeah,
bother
yeah.
manifesting like a
like
torso?
or she's like a giant. Well, no, she's like a giant pale head.
like a
Yeah,
giant
thing.
pale head.
Yeah, actually like that better.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like lean in like conspiratorially, like, are you asking me to be your friend? Or are you asking me to find you one so you can pop it around?
Well, I suppose they have to be you, but I don't know. I think there are some. Uh, I don't know. I think there's some people who would. I do feel like there's some people who feel as the mystique if there's a Tekarosi involved.
All right, I see what you're saying. I'm picking it up. I should tell you, I've been I'm getting echo from you again, B.
Sorry. Here, let me.
I've been working with some new
new.
folk, and they got something going on that I'm not entirely sure what it is, but well, let me show you. Come on over here. And I don't actually know if B is still there or not, or if they're changing something. So I might have to repeat this. But I like just for her to effectively possess me, right? Can
you hear me?
Yeah, I see you've reconnected.
Yeah, so I missed like the first part of what you said, but I got the second part kind of like you want to show her something?
Yeah. Quickly, can you just change your portrait and
yeah.
deal. It's just a little awkward.
Yeah.
But I want to. I like offer. What I'm saying is that there are some bleeps.
I don't know what's going on all your day.
I just lost my train of thought. I was saying that I'm like working with some new people, and I'm not entirely sure what they have going on and like why it's working the way it is. I need to still figure that out, but things are a little different now, and I indicate for her to try to possess me.
Oh, you want to do that trick again? Fine. I guess I'll come with it, and you do the ghost passage thing.
Yeah, because this is a thing that is part of the crew. This is not something they actually could do prior.
Oh yeah, it's true. Yeah.
At least if I wanted to, I could narrate. I could make. I think we could do it either way. Just like the mechanics don't force one thing or another. But I think that is interesting. This is like new, right? She's used to being able to possess me, and I'm like, all right, you're there, but I'm in full control.
It's like,
right.
Wait. And she's like, wait, what's? I think she comes out first. Like, wait, what is this? What's going on?
I don't know yet, but things are changing. You want to see it from the front row?
Yeah, I suppose. And she like kind of comes back.
I mean, I can make a consort roll and stuff. You're so willing to give things up for free.
Fair. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think she's like. I don't know. I don't think she feels like in danger or anything like that.
Cool. Yeah. So I guess I'm bringing her along. I don't know what deal I agreed to necessarily. I don't know if it's a mechanical deal I need to worry about, but it's a narrative thing that will be happening. So that's cool.
Yeah, narrative. Yeah.
I have acquired my assistant for this mission.
Oh wait! Oh, I thought you were trying to show her something, or I was.
No, I was showing her that she can't possess me.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So you make a deal like that. When time comes, she can like go beyond the lightning wall.
Whoa.
Or yeah.
Sorry, your volume just jumped up a bunch.
Oh,
It's
all
fine
right.
now. I don't know what that was, but probably my mic volume's also jumping around all the time because it's got auto balance due to Roll20. So
Oh,
it's
that's
probably
so
the same
weird.
thing.
Yeah.
Huh.
Anyway,
Yeah, you do sound a bit better.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that's that scene. It was longer than I expected because we took so much time to develop this cool new character.
Yeah.
Oh,
But yeah,
I'm loving it.
yeah,
I'm glad.
yeah. I actually just kind of realized. So I have like a kind of a hard out in like midnight tonight, but
Great. I mean, that's when it goes, right?
yeah. So
Yeah.
just like to be clear, like I got yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right, cool.
Yeah. Well, we're already recorded 10. That's cool. We got, we'll finish
Yeah.
our legwork and then 2 hours for actual score. Do
Yeah, maybe.
downtime next time. Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm done online prep. That's what I intended to do, assuming Brants can get the ship and everything in order. If not, or I mean, depending on how long it takes, Knives might be able to join up with that and assist in the end. But I think probably Brants has this. So over to you.
Okay. So, considering that this is what I was saying earlier, it was a bit more technical. I feel like this might be just a series of rolls because there's always. I mean, I could probably come up with like I have some basic knowledge of environmental science, that kind of stuff, but that wouldn't make us an interesting narrative as be one upping a ghost. But I feel like this would be the kind of thing just kind of working with Trusted to find a crew, to find a boat that with a crane, as well as just kind of preparing
All
like
right.
that.
Wait, y'all. I guess like y'all don't like have a boat yet, though. You have to. So it's like kind of. I guess like I think like you have like kind of two things to do, right? You have to like finish with the boat captain in order to like use this boat just one time. I also got like acquire the assets, which is like
that's the thing. Like I want to work because I do like that idea of just kind of trust of being like being in charge of the other crew, and I feel like this would be like a good
Trial basis.
seed in that narrative to find a crew.
Yeah, I mean, what from a meta standpoint, what I would push for is that we sort of, kind of, I guess not really. We still want to have the ship and stuff, but so we probably do want to still finish the clock. But we're kind of abandoning that and instead just going to try and buy the rovers with the level up advance. But we are still going to position ourselves narratively so that that makes sense when we do. And the steps towards that is like getting them to do this one job for us and then convincing them that this job was cool and good and they want to do more in the future.
Yeah, hopefully it goes cool and good.
Yeah, I'm sure. What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah. So I'm thinking I'd like to, for lack of a better word, consort with Trusset in this regard to find just kind of prepare things, and more specifically like an actual boat.
Okay.
That fits specifications.
And is this boat gonna be the Nighthawk or the Seahawk? Sorry.
No, it's gonna be the Nighthawk.
Oh, that was okay. Is you for Nighthawk better? It's like a boat name.
No, it's a different boat.
Okay. Nice.
This is a different boat. It's a better one.
And I feel like the way that we approach this is also another step into legitimizing our business. We're now looking to expand into actually
shipping,
owning a boat on paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna need to get some official warrants, and it's all gonna be legit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of angle of it I want to go at.
So you're like getting Tressa to like assist you. Is that what's going on here?
Yeah.
In doing like some legitimate
Yes,
bureaucracy juggling.
Yeah, or legit enough.
Yeah.
Whether take that and interpret it as you will, but yes.
Yeah, exactly. It's like legit TM. That sounds good because like we should definitely leverage her great dice.
Yeah.
So I'm into it.
Yeah.
And I don't quite remember now just how much she knows about our activities.
So you make a very good point. Yeah. So continue. I think you're going to make the same point I was about to say.
Because I was thinking we might have to tailor how we respond if it's just she doesn't know, and I feel like that's partly what we're leading into.
She knows you're criminals,
Yeah, so she knows we're criminals, but she probably doesn't know what happened to the last job. Because she's principled.
Because
we're not going out there killing people. We're just trying to get the product to the people who need them. We're not doing anything bad. It's the people putting these blocks on supply and demand. Those are the bad people. We're the good people, right?
Yeah.
And then we just blew up a building, right? Like that is a story we need to keep from her. Like, yes.
You raise a good point, and I say yes. She does not know. You did not tell her.
But that is one specific job.
Just the one big one.
Otherwise, yes, she gets that this is smuggling, but probably has convinced herself that it's actually for the benefit of helping people get stuff they need because people have unfairly locked down the supply of arcane goods.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I don't know how much specific. I think she has the specific. She runs the books and stuff. Like she must.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Because I didn't quite remember the previous sessions until now, so I was kind of playing it quiet whenever she was around. Now that I know that she's aware of criminal activities, that it'll help going forward.
Okay. Nice.
Just that.
So yeah. So you guess you wanted to
that specific ship, the Seahawk. Wait, or was the Nighthawk? I forget which one now.
Seahawk.
It's the Seahawk if we're trying to get the same boat that is captained by the crew that we were previously trying to schmooze with. If we want to get a different boat, then it's the Nighthawk.
I would say if it goes well, if it's the Seahawk, then they'll put some ticks on the clock.
Yeah. Okay. So I feel like this would be the kind of thing where we're in our warehouse, just kind of pouring over documents, maps, charge schedules, that kind of thing with Tressa.
I feel like one of those things, because you mentioned a bunch about weather and actual navigation and real smart people stuff.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that you might be looking at is how deep something might be. Like how much chain do we need for this crane, or how the crane works, right? Like we don't really know that
how
stuff
much
yet.
space that crane would take.
Yeah, weight capacities and stuff, lots of things you're looking at. Totally.
Yeah, how much water or ink, whatever the sea is, how much that displaces it, how it affects buoyancy, that kind of stuff. But I was thinking,
address some challenges with calculations.
Yeah.
Address challenges with math.
Yeah, that's the real enemy.
Yeah. Sorry, continue.
I'm of two minds in this operation. We do want to acquire used to the Seahawk, but given this operation might be a bit dangerous, it might actually be a bit of a double-edged sword if this operation were to fail. And if we end up wrecking the boat completely in the worst scenario, that would undo all our efforts up to this point. So, with that in mind, I have another boat in mind, the Nighthawk. I do believe it's from a sister company or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which boat to go with, because do you think it would be worth risking our efforts in this? Now, it's like I'm not expecting an answer right away, but it's something I'm wrestling with because we do have a fair amount of time left.
Yeah.
And I feel like that, like it's after that, like it's just pouring over more notes, calculations, that kind of stuff. And then
What are you saying?
I feel like it's like fast forwarding however long into if she comes up with an answer, because it's she's part of this crew, and I want to make sure that that is
Right.
that would
You
make
wanna
sense for
give her that agency. Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
because this would be the kind of thing where she would excel in management, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a few things to keep in mind. I do believe we bought independent for her, so she can make good decisions on her own.
Yeah.
2, I do believe that in general, even without that, experts are allowed to like make their own roles. It's not like they can only help. Although generally, I think that a really strong use of experts is to do the like do a group action. So you're rolling your dice and they're rolling their dice, and then if they fail, you take stress, that sort of thing. So mechanics wise, like that's the sort of thing we can do if we want to actually apply dice to a situation. But if this is just a scene where it's like, here, think about this, and then you walk away, then it's whatever.
Yeah. And I think I would like to do like that group consort, like where I do the when I get the stress if we fail this.
Okay, yeah, sure. So
what is this scene? This is like, is this like a study? Like, what is this?
All right, yeah. So what?
Yeah. I think it's like it's the
what is the objective? That's the question. The question is, what's the objective?
Okay.
Yeah. What would you get?
Okay, the role. I do feel this would be study.
Okay. What are you trying to get out of is like kind of,
like it would be a study role, but the thing is like to go work out which detail, because I feel like the asking her which boat we should ultimately end up going with would be,
because this could just be a scene with a contact, which helps us get an engagement die, and the specifics of it don't matter and don't require a roll. That's a way of doing this. If the benefit is to like, maybe get an additional advantage on our engagement because we chose the better of two options, and we did that because we incorporated Tressa into our studying of the situation, that makes sense, right? There's a spot at the end of the engagement where it says, what do you want to consider any additional advantages? It's just sort of a general blanket, like boilerplate, right? So that might be what this is, right? This might be additional study to try and get that bonus. Yeah. But we don't even have a ship yet, right?
This would be the kind of thing where plan first, and then the next one is trying to find
Okay.
which crew to schmooze up with,
Yeah.
Sounds good.
which I feel like would be like a consort or sway kind of role.
Right. Okay. So this sounds like this is a potential advantage for the future engagement, but then we'll still need to actually schmooze whatever the choice ends up being. And if we can't get them, we could fall back on the other, but we wouldn't get that advantage anymore. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
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 B, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So,
Because I'm
so
not
yeah.
the adjudicator of rules. I'm just giving suggestions.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
So-
Awesome. And this is a scene that just you're having because I'm off doing my own thing. So I will not
Yeah.
additionally assist.
Yeah.
Also, I'm bad at studying, so I'd fail and give you stress.
Yeah.
I can roll for I can roll for Tressa though.
Okay. Yeah.
Which I believe the best way of doing that, I should swap the scenes so we can actually take a look. This is the crew. I think probably the best way of doing this is, can I actually click on Tressa as an expert? I think, I can. Look at that. Expert. They're not weak. They don't have any of these bent edges. Okay, yep. So I just roll. Boop.
Okay.
Bonus dice. I think it knows that she's an expert, so it should roll 2 dice on its own.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I said
Mhm.
you got 6.
Pew, 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 pew. All
Nice.
right.
Pew, pew, pew.
She's got good ideas, but you're doing this as a group action, right? You're not doing this as just getting her to roll and figuring out what she does.
Yeah.
Tressa Cook, expert.
Yeah, it's a group
clerk.
Nice.
All right. So you need to also roll.
So
if you get 2 6s, it becomes a crit instead. If you get anything else, it's irrelevant because it's a 6. But if you get a fail, you accrue 1 stress. Otherwise, this is just a good roll.
Yeah.
all right. So I'm going controlled, standard, and no bonus dice.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Just waiting for it to go through.
Cool.
Uh,
Take 1
no.
stress.
Ooh.
You
Yeah.
want much help. It was a stressful situation watching her just. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
like kind of thing of like, we're gonna get this done in time. Like it's
Yeah,
like,
you're worrying about these like logistics while she's actually like doing important work, and it's like, yeah, no, I need to actually look at all these things and consider, like, you didn't consider this detail. We need to also include that in our math here. And it's like, right, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, and then
So
going
it's
on
still
to the
6,
next
yeah.
scene.
So I don't know if there was risk of like complication. Like, it was a standard roll. It wasn't. This isn't like a fortune roll or anything. This isn't a downtime
Sure.
action. So there was risk, but you got a 6, so you should be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And do you think this would be the kind of thing where we just kind of reveal which boat it is in a flashback scene or something? Because
Maybe it depends. Like, we need to get the ship still. Like, that's a thing we do need, and
Yeah.
I think there's potential. Yeah. So the point is, we're gonna try and get our first pick, and if that fails, we can try and get our second pick. But you're right. I don't think it matters which our first pick or
Okay.
second pick is until later, unless that changes what you can roll
Yeah.
and stuff, right? But I don't think it does.
Yeah, because I'm thinking I'd like to move on to the captain and crew. Just try get them on our side.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're just gonna make a consort on your own. Does this happen late enough that I can assist you, or is this you on your own still? I mean, I know I specifically said I was off doing my own thing, but timeline wise, I don't know if it lines up.
Yeah. I mean, this happening over a long period of time, so you can totally be there if you want.
Cool.
Yeah.
I would gladly assist
Okay.
this as a group action where we both roll our consort.
Yeah.
All right. So, consort.
But it does seem like you're taking.
Control?
Did you take stress, by the way, for your for Brent's?
Yeah, I know. I marked it.
Yeah, you did. Okay, great. So I'm going to roll my consort. I'm just going to say it's risky standard. If it changes, we can ignore that. Okay, so I got a 5.
Nice.
Okay, I'll also do the same consort. risky standard, no bonus dice. Waiting for it to go through.
Okay.
Oof! Wow.
Oof. Bad rolls.
Ooh.
Well, take another stress.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
still, if you like, I don't know, not necessarily. If you pushed yourself, it might have been different, but you would have taken 2 stress, and here you got a 5. So we got a 5.
Yeah.
What does this look like?
So this is for this is for getting the both people on your side to like do like a mission.
Yeah,
Right
whoever we chose.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
And I feel like you should like pick who you're gonna do. I think like the people who you're most likely to be able to do are the group of the Seahawk. If unless you really don't want to do with that group of people.
I mean, I don't know, right? Like the study rule had a purpose, and I'm not fully aware of what it was, but we got a 6 on it. So whatever the best choice was, according to Tressa, is what we're doing, right?
Yeah, I say like the people you've already consorted with is like the best choice.
Okay, great. So we're approaching them. We're working with them, hashing out some stuff. Brance is taking the lead on what is happening here. So yeah, how's it go?
Yeah. So I mean, it goes. Well, let's see. So there's so there's like a consequence. Just trying to think.
That like if it helps with the consequences, we could say that it's the kind of thing where, first off, we're going outside the lightning wall, which they already would have dealt with, so that's understood.
Mm-hmm.
But it kind of sets the expectation. And second, I feel like which might be the complicated factors that we let it slip that this is for Skurlock. It might play into suspicions.
I think it might actually like kind of think of like maybe it's actually a thing of like they actually don't like you have to end up like lying about the fact that there's a ghost involved in this thing. Like you're gonna have to ghost have it. They actually they're like superstitious and they don't like having ghosts around on their ship, ideally.
Right. I mean, we're going outside. There's going to be ghosts and stuff.
So
So
like, you don't want to bring more ghosts.
But like, what is the like? So like, there's a list of stuff, right? There's complications. There's what are all the options? Complications, lower effect, trying again with a different tactic or something. Like there's these different sort of specific situations, and this is like so you're proposing a complication, which is that they're superstitious. Is that it? Like they're agreeing to
on the condition that there's like that you're like you aren't going to bring any ghosts with us on this, right? We can do this ourselves, and you're like no, it's fine.
So what it sounds like you're saying is, here's what I'm picturing. We are forthcoming with them. We say, we need this to do some work for the Lord, and they're like, Skurlock's weird, and we don't trust that guy. He's creepy. Are we doing ghost bullshit, right?
Yeah.
And the answer to that is like, yeah, we're going out and getting a thing. We don't know what the thing is. How does this resolve where they are saying yes to that part, but still ask us about the ghost thing? Because there's no reason why they'd be like, don't bring ghosts, because like, why would they even think to ask that? Like
yeah, okay, that's fair.
Right?
Maybe it's the kind of thing where they don't like they fear possession, so it could be the kind of thing where we also said that will help protect them from being might be something like that.
The thing, what I'm noticing is that I feel like you're getting really good at devil's bargains, but not assigning them as devil's bargains. You're assigning them as like you're like flipping yours. Like
Yeah. Okay.
When you want to do a devil's bargain, you're doing a consequence, and when you want to do a consequence, you're doing a devil's bargain. So I don't know. Think about what a good devil's bargain might be.
Okay. Maybe a devil's bargain is you got like a limited amount of time to get. So the way the lightning barrier works is that they shut off like part of the lightning barrier, like small, like they have like a small section, like that's like kind of isolated from the rest of that. You can shut off, so you can't let boats get through, and like your window to get through is like the time they can arrange to like get through is like short, so you need to like get so that's like a kind of obstacle. It's like this would be like kind of the first obstacle in like in like the thing in like the actual score would be like you need to get through the lightning barrier at the right time. And
I mean, they're running the boat, right? Like, what does that have to do with us? What I'm thinking, I'm just gonna take a look at the actual roles section. Core thing. Where is the actual action roll? Okay, here we are.
Yeah.
Do. Oh, I guess I wanted to look at like position or something. Here we are.
Yeah.
So we got a 4 to 5, right?
Yeah.
You do it, which is consorting with these people, but there's a consequence. You either suffer harm, a complication occurs, you have reduced effect, you end up in a desperate position. So it sounds, I mean, that can't be an option. We can't just say like you start in a desperate position. That's what engagement rolls for. So that's sort of off the table.
Yeah.
There can be, it can just be like you need to sort of keep pushing in as much that there's like, this is assuming this is risky. I don't know. Maybe it's controlled. Those are different options.
Actually, yeah. I think this would be controlled.
Okay. You hesitate, withdraw, and try a different approach, or else do it with a minor consequence. A minor complication occurs. You have reduced effect. You suffer lesser harm. You end up with a risky position. So, what that says to me is,
maybe it's like a thing of like they want coin. Might be like a thing like they want some coin.
Right. So then we promise them a cut.
Yeah,
the job. That makes sense, right? That makes total sense.
So yeah, okay, yeah. So they want like 1 coin.
Sure, yeah. They get 1 coin of the job. Totally.
Yeah.
I would definitely take that deal.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Because like we probably ostensibly were paying them. It's just we were paying them nickels and dimes, not actually, but like coins represent hundreds of dollars, right?
Yeah.
This full of money.
Yeah.
Like you pay them like 0.2 a coin or something like that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So they're like, oh, this is gonna be like a big job, huh? I'm getting echo again. We got to get in on that cut, right? And it's like, all right, you are legitimate. You know, we want to like make this actually. We want to be working with you in the future. We want to have good rapport. Yes, you deserve a proper cut, right?
Yeah.
Totally makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, cool. 1 coin being a lesser and 2 coin being like a risky downside. Yeah, that makes sense to me. It seems like a decent scale. Now, like, I don't know exactly. Like 1, 2, 3 does seem like that could get very expensive because coins are more than usual. So I don't know. Maybe coin isn't a minor consequence. Maybe that's sort of middling. Now, that said, we can resist this. I'm happy to take it because I think that seems good. But also, I feel like I need to resist more things so I can build up that stress.
Okay.
But just it's good to remember that we can resist consequences, right? We can be like, it's fine. And you can just be like, I turn on the haggle and you make a roll to resist it, right?
Okay, yeah.
So that's a thing you could do if one of us wanted to. I think the coin's fine as long as we can pay it, tomorrow after the job's done because we don't have the money. We're broke.
Also, if you all die at sea, then you don't have to pay any coin. So that's the upside.
Yeah, you're right.
Hey.
All right, cool. No, I'm super into that. Anything else? Any other prep we need to do before? Any other prep we need before?
Well, you have, wait. So you got the crane, right? Or yeah. So I suppose you say like this. Yeah.
Do we need to get a crane installed?
I feel like it would be like,
I feel like didn't we have like you have like a downtime action for like acquiring an asset, right?
We do, but I don't want to roll that We do
Okay.
potentially have a downtime we could do something with. I don't know. I didn't have any other than like the stuff we just did. I didn't really have any plans.
I kind of assumed that like you had like you're going to like roll for that, or did you? I don't know. Yeah.
Well, that's like the whole boat is an asset, right? But you
Yeah,
said we
okay.
could break that down to be just the crane.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I think it's fine to say like they can like probably do it. Yeah. I think it's fine to say we can probably do it with like the boat that with the boat they have, and it would have like because like it needs a crane. I mean, from loading and unloading, it needs a crane anyway, and like they can like
Right. So like maybe we have to make some modifications or something, and then that like
yeah.
it's
Or
one of
maybe
those things where if we don't make this roll, it's at like quality 1. But if we make the roll, we can get a better quality.
yeah, totally, yeah.
That makes sense to me. I don't have anything else
Yeah.
specifically I wanted to do with that downtime action.
Maybe
so-
like the crane. Maybe the crane isn't the difficult part, but having
I guess it's like the end part is like the important part, right? Because they would have a crane. Not thinking about they would have a crane for like loading and unloading stuff. But
right. It's about is that
but
capable of doing the things Skurlock wants, right?
yeah, which is like to get a thing from like a claw, more like to get like the thing from the bottom of the yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the kind of thing where the effort is not only getting a crane and getting it attached, but it's also the kind of thing where we have a good secret compartment.
Oh, because this is not our boat.
Yeah.
We need to like, hey, so if we're gonna work together, we're gonna get this retrofit. We'll do that later once they're like permanent members of the gang.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's fun about
That
these
might be
people as
worth
being a
it.
cohort eventually is that there's a specific cohort that's already like they have a day job. Like that's one of the the downsides you can take. So
Yeah.
like it fits really well.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely take that once we eventually get them as cohorts, because that's what I do want to do that. I want to get these people as like an actual proper
Nice.
elite rover cohort.
Nice.
I think that would be awesome. Anyway, I was going to take a look at downtime and see if there's anything that jumped out as an action that made sense. The downtimes, it's way past all of the payoff stuff. Okay, downtime actions. They acquire an asset, which is cool. Special one-time or set of common items, a special item or set of common items, a cohort, a vehicle, a service, right? We are not using this because we are like actually playing with the scene and stuff instead, and that's cool. But also, like, it sort of makes sense to be like, hey, let's do this special. Let's make this roll anyway and see if we can like modify the quality or something. I don't know. That's a possible thing, right? To acquire an asset, you roll the cruise tier. The result indicates the quality of the asset you get, which is the cruise tier at the base, and then it either goes down or up based on how well you roll. So it's pretty hard to do well on. Anyway, then there's your long-term projects, which I mean we could work on, but I'm pretty sure the like bonus action you're granted for a job has to be like directly related to the job.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. Let's take a look at our ongoing things. Unless you wanted to try schmoozing a ghost, I don't think that anything that we have currently active is directly relevant. You recover and reduce heat, which aren't really relevant. You could try and get some training in, maybe. I don't know. That's sort of a GM discretion, I suppose. But yeah.
Train would work. I would say train would be fine.
So,
I think that'd make a good sense. Like one way we could approach this is that.
So we haven't engaged with the training rules before, but every cruise starts, I think, with a type of training. So we have prowess training as our defaultly ticked box, which means you would get 2 experience if you trained prowess, which isn't necessarily relevant because if it was in the resolve, that would be great because you could bump up your sway immediately before the session even starts. But whatever.
Yeah. And I feel like this would be one of the ways we could narrate this train is that we just kind of critique how they have their ship set up, like you called this a hidden copy hole. Like an amateur could spot this a mile away.
Oh, I just
Could be that
remembered
kind of thing,
something.
like
Wait a minute, let me check something.
Oh?
I'm pretty sure that you can train your playbook. When you spend time in training, mark 1 experience on the XP track for an attribute or playbook advancement. If you have the appropriate crew training upgrade unlocked, mark +1 XP, see crew upgrade. So you can take playbook advancement. So maybe this is me. Let me take a look. So 9s is 1 away from playbook advancement. And I guess the thing I was most, other than like Jailbird, which I don't think is going to be relevant right now, once I decide to go to jail immediately after this job. Rook's Gambit is take 2 stress to roll your best action rating while performing a different action. Say how you adapt your skills to this use. So I'm wondering if I'm like actually, like, I mean, I'm if this is viable. I don't. We didn't talk about this. I just started going off on my own. Sorry. There might be a thing where I'm like working with these like sailors, and I'm consorting with them to sort of like figure out the tricks of the trade before we go, like things I need to be aware of on a boat. So I haven't like, done any actual boat work. I've just been on one as like a passenger before. So I'm like using my consort to shore up the things I'm going to need to know moving into the mission. And I could take training, playbook ability, and take Rook's Gambit. That seems like a possibility. If you're happy with using it that way.
I am.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, cool. Awesome. I'm going to do that. So I'm going to take Rook's Gambit right now. I just read how it worked, so I'm not going to repeat myself. And I reset my playbook back down to 0. Wow, that's amazing.
It is amazing.
It is amazing.
It's an amazing ability.
All right.
Great.
All right, so this
now I'll have no trouble getting trauma.
Nice. So yeah, so now we have so this is a smuggling operation.
Yes.
And the route is by boat or sea. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a question of what let me bring that up actually. The engagement rules. Planning an engagement, we have assault, no. Deception, no. Stealth, no, I guess, unless we're like, yeah, we're not. Yeah, it's transport. Transport, carrying cargo or people through danger. Cool. Awesome. The route and the means, which is, I guess, kind of directly there, and the means is this boat. Now, that said, there are people who are managing the, like, crew side of it, and we're not really. We're more like escorting it to a place that we told them to go. Like, we chartered a ship more than anything else. This is one of those interesting, like, maybe this was a social job and we could have played up that whole scene that we just did there as the job, right? But I think really the job is when we get there, what happens, right? Maybe this is an occult job, right? This is the engaging a supernatural power. I don't know. We'll find out. But I don't think it super matters. I think we have a good idea of what we're trying to do and what we're going to do when we get there. So the detail, we did that. It's great. We have our item loadouts. So let's talk about item loadouts. This is a really interesting question because we've been light load so far because we've been doing like social jobs or things where we're trying to pass ourselves off as normal people.
Yeah.
We've chartered this boat. They don't necessarily know we're criminals, but I think we are saying that we're doing a job for Skurlock. The question becomes, how ready for trouble should we look, right? I mean, if you take the average like Leviathan hunter, for example, who's going out past the lightning barriers, and, on a big whaling ship, effectively, is that person at light load, normal load, or heavy load? right? I don't know. Probably normal, I would guess.
I'd say heavy, actually.
Yeah,
Like,
I would
yeah.
guess so.
I don't know. Heavy is like pretty
Probably.
heavy. Let me see. There's a
Yeah,
road.
another thing.
Okay, characters load. For more details, page 57. Here we are. Loadout. Light load. You're faster, less conspicuous. You blend in with citizens. Normal load. You look like a scoundrel ready for trouble. Heavy. You're slower. You look like an operative on a mission. 7 to 9 load, which isn't even an option on my sheet, so I don't know why it's listed here. Oh, encumbered. Got it. You're overburdened. You can't do anything except for move very slowly. Got it. So, yeah. I don't know. You make an interesting point. An operative on a mission? Sure. I guess that seems appropriate.
Yeah.
I think I don't want to be slower, so I don't want to go heavy. Normal might be fine.
Yeah.
I don't know if I need to be faster. I'm looking. I guess I should look at my gear and see what sort of things I might actually use for normal. I think I'll probably want like armor on this mission. Maybe that like
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't need to decide preemptively, but I sort of want to know the kinds of things I want to be taking, so I know how much load I need. Right. Arcane implements is a thing. I probably want that. I don't think I'm going to need like demolition gear or anything. That's fine. I'll probably take some. I'm not a tinkerer. I'm not going to take tinkering. Armor is 2 boxes. Oof. Really? When did armor become 2 boxes? Dang. That's a new fangled version. I think that came out whenever.
I thought a buy thing. It looks like it starts off as 1, but you can expand it to 2. But
So
it could be
there's
wrong.
armor and there's heavy armor.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm looking at, and it's
Yeah.
2 on one side, 2 on the other.
Yeah. So if a box is connected with that little dash between them, it means you need both of them to count. It's not like there's 2 charges available of armor and then you can have 3 charges of heavy.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And I believe that armor does specifically state that the cost of heavy is in addition to the cost of armor. It's not like you can take heavy armor for 3 or regular armor for 1 or for 2. I mean, but that might already be baked into the sheet here. I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to look at the real sheets, not the Roll20 sheets. But I'm not taking more than just armor. That's ridiculous for me. But that makes sense, right? To have heavy armor, you're probably taking a heavy load. Yeah, sure. I buy that. Anyway, so that's like 2 charges. I don't have any plans on what I might do in a like combat situation, because I guess finesse, so maybe like throwing knives. So it's like another one. I want to talk to people. I'll take some arcane implements. So that's already 4 I'm looking at. I'm going to go with the normal load. I'm going to go with normal load for this mission.
Okay.
I think I'm going to untick my fine clothes and jewelry, which are no weight, but I don't think I want to be wearing them.
You don't want to mess them up.
Nah, I don't. I am not carrying. I'm not carrying a Spirit Bane charm, which is probably a bad idea, but that's what we're going to go with.
Wait, why not?
Because of Nirix.
Oh yeah. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah. I'm gonna just sort of pencil in some things I think I'm gonna want, just so I can keep track. But I haven't actually they're not permanently here yet. This is just me thinking about things. Can always change things up. All right, cool. What are you thinking, Simon?
Okay, so I'm thinking going with a heavy load.
Ooh.
And I feel like this kind of fits in with France's whole thing, because it's, as things are full out, he's a dock worker, so it makes sense that just being able to carry a heavy load, but also the kind of thing it's, from what we've seen so far, is that he's fairly risk adverse, likes back up some assurances in some regards. So I feel like this would be the kind of thing where it would make sense to bring a heavy load.
Sounds good. So think we don't need to decide what you have, but think about what that means you look like, right? We're used to seeing kind of dock worker, plain white shirt, Brants. At least I don't know how you look. You have what, like a coat and like boots? Isn't that like what you said before? Like the only two notable visual aspects. And like what quality? How do you look like when you're in a heavy load? Right? Is there anything obvious or bulky about you?
Yeah. Like it could be like the kind of thing where it's also heavy canvas, kind like a heavy canvas material kind of thing, like overalls or something like that, or something with extra pockets and belts.
I'm also picturing one of those like, not necessarily yellow, but the like yellow sailor like slicker like for rain and spray. You just have like over top of you, like, and there's stuff under it because you have all your gear that's undefined, but you have this like, rain slicker on top to like keep yourself drier than other people.
Yeah. Okay.
So, like,
I like that idea.
And for myself,
I feel like it'd be some sort.
Sorry, continue.
It's just like a big kind of thing where it's like it's a very garish looking color for a very serious looking person, so it's a little bit comical.
Yeah, totally. I think for nines they're not wearing like their fancy clothes for one thing, right? That's a notable difference. And what they are wearing, it's like, despite how I've described them as usually wearing these like fine clothes and jewelry, the portrait I have for myself is wearing this like black leather jacket, right? I can actually swap this back to the main screen. And I think we're seeing like that for the first time, this like thicker leather thing that still like looks rad, right? But it's not like high noble fancy. And you can sort of see that it's a bit more like, chunkier than you might expect, and that's like, the camera alluding to there potentially being armor underneath this jacket. And the black leather like comes down like sort of a longish, almost like a, like mid-thigh sort of thing. So there could be stuff underneath pretty easily. Cool. I think that's us.
And I think the only assured thing that I will be bringing in this heavy load is documents, and that's more for the purpose of where this is our travel missive for this reason, to make it past the barrier.
That makes sense.
But anything else, if something comes up narratively, that will be the kind of thing I'll note.
That makes sense. I like the idea that like, if you wanted to take a whole bunch of non-combat stuff, you could still accrue a heavy load, and so you're just like someone with like a armful of like papers and stuff and like a briefcase, and it's just like slowing you down.
Pretty different backpacks.
You could throw enough legal documents at them that they think you're legit.
That's right.
So many legal documents, they can't read them all.
Let's look at this engagement roll.
All right, so
start with one die for sheer luck.
One die for sheer luck, yes.
Is this operation particularly bold or daring?
I
don't really know what we're doing.
Well, you're dressing up a thing.
We're going to a place and doing a thing and then coming back. And the complications are going to be whatever happens to be on the way that we're not really aware of yet. Unless we figured out that stuff with that study roll. But I don't think so. That wasn't what that study was about. So we don't know. We're kind of going in a little blind. Which maybe that's daring. I don't really know. But I will say one thing. It is not overly complex or contingent on many factors.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to say you can decide on that first one.
I don't think it's overly daring.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does the plan's detail expose a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest? I don't know who the target is. I guess the target is the Coast Guard. I don't know.
No, I say it doesn't. I think I know what the target is, and you're fine.
Okay.
Or not fine, but you aren't.
Are they strongest against this approach, or do they have particular defenses or special preparations? You see, not getting these
yeah.
+1 dice isn't a big deal as long as we're not getting -1
Yeah.
dice.
Yeah, I think well, I think they are kind of like prepared for this.
Okay.
Like, I think your target here is like the blue coast, which you're not trying to get this past.
Right.
So yeah. So
Right.
I think
This
they
is
are
the kind
prepared.
of thing that we would be making a better plan if we actually did some research about what was going on, but we just went, yes, sir, Lord Skurlock, sir.
Yeah.
Which, you know, that's on us. That's on us.
Yeah.
Okay. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight for this operation? Take +1 die. Definitely. Like, I know that I am trying to get. I'm bringing a contact with me, right?
Yeah.
That is intentional. That said, the next part goes on to say, are any enemies or rivals interfering? And the contact I'm bringing is also a rival. So, you know.
I think you're fine. I think like you get to die.
All right, cool. I was gonna say also that probably, like, not that these dice stack or anything, but probably also Brant's working with Tressa. Not that Tressa's a like contact; she's actually part of the crew, but still, there was like a whole scene there. That probably also would have.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we are a total of 1 die, I believe, so far.
Yeah.
Are there any other elements you would like to consider? Maybe a lower tier target.
1 die plus the sheer luck die, right?
No, I think it was 1 die +1 for a friend, -1 for particular defenses.
Okay, yes, that makes sense.
But are there any other elements you'd like to consider? A lower tier target would give you +1. A higher tier target would give you -1. I think probably it's a higher tier target, but we do have the benefit of that study roll.
Yeah, so I'd say you get +1 for that.
So it's probably a wash.
No, I think you get the +1. I think like I don't know, like it's weird because I guess blue coats are both the target and not the targets.
Right.
But, like
okay.
Yeah, so I say like I say you get the +1.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So it's 2 dice total.
Yeah.
Anything else to consider? I don't think so. All right. I'm gonna make that roll.
Yeah, make that roll.
Sparrows. Engagement is somewhere. I've forgotten. Also, I need to change the screen. Okay. Number of dice total is 2.
Yeah, let's go.
Engagement 6 and a 2.
Hell yeah.
Hey.
Okay.
We did
Nice.
it.
So I would say you yeah, so you go for the coordinates to so yeah, you have the coordinates to
Do you want to have like a scene with Skurlock, or would we just like skip past that? Like, I don't care either way. It's just whether or not you want to play that out because I'm GM.
No, I think like Skurlock's not the kind of person that, like, I mean, like, I don't know, mate. I guess that could be cool, but I think my like idea of the character of Skurlock is that he's not the kind of person who like does things personally.
Sure. Yeah, totally. So we get the information. We know the general idea. There's enough time before we actually head out that Brant is like, all right, cool. We have the time. We have this. We have where we're going. Let's build some documents that'll look legit, right? You start to work on your, like, document baloney stuff. We have a little bit of legitimacy because it's a real ship that has real cargo sometimes. I don't know how much we're going to use that because that, like, is associated with the noble house that we are not associated with. So it's like whether or not we want to, what we want to do with that. I think that's sort of a Brant's question, but we get enough documents in order that we can get past the first hurdle, right?
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so okay, so you so I say the first hurdle would be actually find the Fang, which I say you do, like, you got the coordinates from him. You have like you got that as like basically like kind of a cone, like it's basically like a kind of a rock, but it should have like a kind of a glow on it. And he said you'll be able to tell when you see it.
And we're like looking down through the Neversea and seeing it, right? Like the constellations underneath.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you find the coordinates, and then when you get there actually is like.
Can we back up a bit? Can we slow this down a little? Like,
yeah,
so
sure.
we make it to the lightning barrier, and whoever is in charge of that, checks the documents and approves us for departure. There's
Yeah.
this like the field splits open or something. I don't know. This is a new concept for me. Previous games I've gone, the like boats have had their own like sort of mini generators, and then those two would like sort of interact and open up sort of so they could just always pass through, as opposed to it being temporarily opened and closed, which sounds kind of dangerous because ghosts could slip through during that. But whatever. You have people there at the thing watching. You got probably spirit wardens. At these at these openings.
Also,
so that if anything tries to get through, they get like.
It might even be like a thing like there are like two like. There's like a mini lightning field you have to go through before you get to the big lightning field.
There's like a airlock.
Like an airlock.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So we make our way through there and we head out. Right. We set sail onto the open Neversea. Now, of course, you said we're not too far away yet. We're still within sights of the city, but that's a scene there, right? That's like holy crap. You don't get out on the Neversea that often. In either game or in the actual lived lives of these characters. And I'm sure it's just like are there waves? Is it just like this like flat, like almost like black ice? Like
I think like actually it's going bad because like so it's kind of choppy waters right now.
Okay.
And but that's good because because it lets you like kind of tell which part is the sky, which part is the sea, which is like kind of big,
right? Totally.
Which is like the big thing of like what causes people to be really uncomfortable because like otherwise you're in like a sparkly void. You don't want to be in a sparkly void. That's bad. But yeah.
Right.
But
totally.
it's the kind of thing like there's.
So what do we see as far as other like I guess traffic is the right term because like. Ships come and go at all hours, like it's a thing, right? There is trade, there are Leviathan ships, and apparently there's blue coat activity that you're implying, right?
Yeah.
So that's all interesting to me.
Yeah.
As things that we would notice before we even get where we're going, right?
Yeah. So this is like, So I don't think that. So I think like there's like you can see you also like see the lights of like other ships out on the water. There's like you kind of like arrange the time, which is like not super trafficked.
Good.
Like, so there aren't any many airships, but you do see like the blue coat ships like positioned. Positioned as well as positioned like kind of around like dying the coast, and their lights are like they're like kind of saying so. And their lights are like the lights that also help you, like ground yourself, as well as the fact that like there's also a huge Imperial Navy ship, parked there as well, like actually right by the gate that you leave from. It's like, gosh, I don't know like how big ships. I'm bad at distances, but it's like.
Oh sure, yeah. It
takes like an hour to like get past it.
Cool.
It's like So you got onto water and. It's even with all this stuff, like it's like starting to get to you.
Okay, there, Simon.
Oh, what do you say?
Just closing the window.
All right,
helicopter coming by.
Oh yeah.
Great. Sorry. Continue.
Nice. Yeah. So you're getting, you're getting like a little. It's getting like a little bit where the folks like there's like the bustle of like people. Like moving around, and they're all like trying to keep their like eyes focused on. It's like there's like slight downward bent, so like everyone to try and keep their eyes focused on the deck and like not like that's like kind of skill being a sailor here is like don't pay attention to that. Don't think about it. Just like do your work.
Right.
And like
And this like we haven't talked about the boat really. This is like I guess not actually like a steamer because it's like the electroplasmic equivalent, or is there actually like coal and stuff in this setting, or how
I think it's like kind of
I don't know enough about that style of boat.
Let's see. So yeah, I guess like it doesn't have smokestacks like a steamer is. I think it is like but it does like have like so it does like have like some lightning barrier. Oh, actually, yeah, it does have like some like it has like some like lightning towers on top of it, which do keep out like ghosts from uh like and eventually they'll like kind of spark at like nothing and like that. And but like every time that's like a ghost trying to like get at you.
Right, yeah. It's just
Yeah.
not super obvious because ghosts can turn invisible and stuff.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like okay, so you
My
get
apartment,
so
my apartment is proof of that.
what do you say?
My apartment was proof of that.
Yeah,
It's true.
yeah, yeah. So you get out to you get so a few miles out, you go to coordinates that Lord Scrawl gave you,
Mm-hmm.
and there actually is like something glowing beneath the water, uh, blue. It's like bluish in hue, and it it's like flickering, like a flame, but like obviously not a flame because it's underwater. Uh, yeah. Let's see. So I think
Well, all right. Looks like this is the place.
yeah. So I think like I figure like how sort of I feel like you should make a roll here. But I'm not sure what, but like
Just to haul it up.
to hold it up for like.
So, like, what happens, right? Let's just like go through it, fiction first, right?
Yeah. Okay. Totally. So
First of all, are we drawing attention? Like, are there other people who can see what we're doing? We're on the Neversea. That's a question, right? Do we have to worry about being noticed? B, the next thing is we just start dropping this thing and dropping like reaching down for it.
yeah.
Now is this like claw game where we have to try and like snap, snap, snap? I don't know. So there might be something there.
I think it might be a thing of like it takes a while to get like it's just like a lot of waiting as you like get the as you're trying to like kind of fix it. It's like kind of clogging of like up right, and like you have time, but like it's like kind of like and as it's happened, people on the ship are getting like kind of
yeah.
TV,
I mean,
like
you're disturbing the Neversea. That can't be good, right?
yeah, and it's like so you have. So I think you all have to do something to like kind of try and keep people calm and like.
Okay, so we're not involved in the actual like claw game part.
Yeah.
This isn't about like how quickly can we do it. It's about maintaining morale and stuff in this sort of nervous situation.
Yeah.
That sounds cool. I do wonder if there's something we can do to sort of screw it. That's not the way I want to go about this. So in the scene, right?
Yeah.
They've set up the thing. The claw like splash down and goes through the water and starts dropping, and it's like takes a while to even get where it's going. I imagine, right?
Yeah.
And it's just waiting, and it's like, oh, we're not hearing anything, but that's like even scarier because we don't know what's going on. And there's a spark, and you're just like, all right, that was the ghost. That's fine. That lightning tower is doing its good thing. That means it's working. That's actually a good thing, right? People are getting kind of nervous, and I like look over at Brant, and I'm just like, this is you, man. And I instead am focusing my sights on the supernatural threats, right? We've disturbed the place where Leviathans slumber. And I know that we're supposed to be not in their territory, but I start to attune to the ghost field and try and feel out any threats so I'm aware of them before they reach us, right? So I just want to sort of have a general, like, perception check effectively going on so that I can lean back onto that later when something goes bad.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I want to do. What are you doing, Brant?
Like it's kind of keeping an eye on the crew, but it's also making sure that the ghost field is operational. Again, more practical than more, how would I say, the immediate practicalities of our situation.
Okay. So you're just going to let people start freaking out? or are you, consorting with people to like calm down, or commanding people to like remain calm and fall in line, or like, because you can always just say, no, I don't deal with that problem, and it just comes to fruition, right? That's always an option.
No, this would be the kind of thing where I'm just actively keeping people in line as the situation is unfolding.
Oh, do you want to roll that first?
So
Yeah, so it's not like kind of it's not being like kind of a command, or how are you like keeping people in line? It's I guess like what I'm trying to get at. Like are you like being friendly with them? Are you like saying, all right, fellows, get the keep on working. We are gonna be just fine. Or what are you doing? That's what kind of stuff. You don't just like make a speech, but like what kind of stuff are you saying?
Command.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm picturing it like you're trying to distract people with jobs, right? You're like, you do this, make sure you're doing this, make sure this is getting done. Check to see if that thing is being cleared, right? And you're spitting all your boat jargon language that actually know what you're talking about. That's what it sounds like. Although I think that it's also possible to be like, I'm one of you and everything is fine. You can, if I'm okay, you're okay too, which would be the consort side of things instead.
Yeah.
Either way seems perfectly reasonable.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I've.
But wait. Yeah, risky, but also and then we can make the attune roll afterwards.
Yeah. I am willfully allowing this to go first. I think that's good.
Yeah.
So it's just waiting for it to go through. I'll went with risky, the standard effect, and no bonus dice.
Okay.
Any second now.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
It is longer than expected.
Yeah, normally it doesn't take this long.
Mm-hmm.
This is what it feels like when you're on the boat.
Yeah, everyone's tense.
Okay, command. Okay.
All right. Got a 5.
Yeah, 5. So you keep everyone calm if we do that, but it's like, but I don't know.
Or at the very least, not panicking.
What do you say?
Or at the very least, not panicking.
Panicking.
Think about the fiction in that, right? Like, you're trying to use command to, I don't know, I suggested sort of distract them with work and stuff as opposed to like comforting them. Which I don't know if that's exactly how you pictured it or not, but it's sort of the way I was picturing it.
Yeah.
And that mostly works. What does that look like when it only mostly works, right?
Yeah. So I think like it's like kind of thing of like now they're like kind of getting frustrated at you, which is good because they're not frustrated at, you're not scared, but also it's like kind of you're like, this guy. It's like, and it's like kind of thing of like, I don't know. It's like kind of thing of like, I don't know. I don't even know if I would want to start a clock because it's like a kind of a 2-thing clock.
Well, here's something I was thinking about earlier: is that we have a clock and we can just turn it into a tug of war clock.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
sure.
you can actually be like, we lose a tick on that progress clock for the.
Oh yeah. Actually, that's
that is the perfect opportunity to say no, thank you. I resist that. Right.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm in a position to take the blow for you and resist myself. Otherwise, I totally would as 9s, but I don't think I'm, fictionally present enough to do so.
Yeah.
That's something that you could think of.
Yeah. So I think take if you don't resist it, you're gonna lose a tick on the screws the boat captain. Also, it's like the boat captain stuff. It's like, hey, that's kind of my job. Like, yeah.
Okay. Just thinking through the logistics of that, I feel like it's fine for the moment. I won't resist it until that control starts to slip up.
Yeah.
Because this is really just to keep them under control enough so we could get the job done as soon as possible. It's not so much about the
Yeah, and when it goes well and
feelings of
everything is
everyone.
fine, they'll like us anyway.
Yeah.
Right? We'll gamble the 1 point now for future points later. Totally. That makes sense. I can see Brant's making that mental arithmetic.
Yeah.
Addressing a challenge with calculations.
Everyone's a pawn.
Yeah.
Everything is math.
Yeah, no RPG.
No.
Everything is math. Yeah, that's not actually true, but yeah.
All right. So that's cool. I like that. Did you mark it down on the clock? I haven't touched it.
I marked it down on the clock, yeah.
Beautiful. So I would love to attune and see what's up. And this, might not be anything now. It might be later when something does become a threat. I get the heads up ahead of time. Or don't, as the case may be. So I'm in a situation where I'm on a boat with a ghost as a passenger in the Neversea, and I'm trying to attune to the ghost field.
Yeah.
What is my position?
I say like this, since you aren't like under any active threat, it's like more of a controlled thing.
It's controlled.
I
don't think it's controlled, but I'm hesitant to say it's desperate because I think you're right. It is. There's no active threat. It can get worse. But this is.
Yeah.
This is. I feel like there's a lot of.
Yeah. Also, it's like a thing. You have a ghost in you, so it's like kind of thing of like. Yeah, to me, I say it's like risky because like.
Let's go with risky. I think I'm happy saying risky.
Well, because also it's like there is like. It's like latent ghost energy around, especially like on you because you have a ghost in you.
Okay.
Like,
so, what is my effect? This is something that I don't think I have any weird special bonuses to affect, right? Like my ghost voice is about communicating. That's not relevant here. Now, I don't know if any extra things are going on that I need to be aware of or not. And of course, there's always like, I'm sort of trying to just establish like a general rider. So like tier difference is theoretically relevant, but I don't think it would. It's more like you'd reverse engineer, or not reverse engineer. You'd retroactively modify my effect depending on what shows up. So I don't think that's affecting my effect either. Yeah, so it's probably standard, and then if something higher tier shows up, I have lesser effect at detecting them, and if something lower tier shows up, I have a greater effect detecting them.
Yeah.
Make sense? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take that. But the real question, and I kind of slow rolled this, is can I take a devil's bargain? I love devil's bargains.
You love devil's bargains. Okay, so as you said, I need to think of like consequence and then have that be the devil's bargain. as you said.
I mean, like, no, but like, just think, yeah, sure, whatever. Let's see what you can come up with. And again, obviously, Simon, feel free to come up with suggestions. And I will also think of some myself, but B has the ultimate authority on what is valid as a bargain.
In the meantime, while we're coming up with this, I'd like to come up with a flashback, not so much for any particular thing. It's just I'd like to talk to Nines about just kind of situation, but that could be we can resolve that whenever. I just want to bring that up now so that we could touch up on it.
Yeah, B, do you want to like think about that stuff for a while while Sam and I have a scene that you don't really necessarily need to be in? I think something might have pulled them away.
Yeah, okay.
Please, bring the scene.
Okay, so this would be, let's say, a little bit outside the barrier where we're just drifting out into the open.
We're already in the boat? Okay, cool.
Yeah. This Nines, do you have a moment?
I suppose. Not really. Crew's got everything handled, right?
Yeah. They're good enough for the moment. everything's holding up, but the one, I feel like this would be the kind of thing that it would benefit you to know a bit more about me going forward. So it is no surprise that we come from Scotland. Well, I do. It
Yeah.
was my parents came to Doskvol here. I don't really remember it because I was a bit too young to be walking around then, but I vaguely remember these waters. But the thing about that is my father wanted a better opportunity for the family, so he took us here. And there was an incident. I don't know, but I was told that he was pushed or fell overboard. It was never seen again. And my mother, bless her heart, tried to make it in Doskvol for a good number of years before it decided to move back to Blackvale, little kind of end stop of anywhere notable, really. But what that means is that it was really difficult for a mother, the single mother raising really an infant, and it's
I don't mean to sound
an
uncaring,
immigration not
but does this have something to do with right now?
I'm getting there. But ultimately, what this means is that if I do seem pretty risk adverse, if there's a reason to that, and it's more a matter of financial stability, which this brings up. I'm appreciative of you pushing my boundaries.
All right, I'm not sure what specifics you're talking about, but I'll keep doing what I'm doing, I guess.
Yeah, but like it was that thing with our meeting with Skrull. Like I was out of my element. Was not.
Yeah, kind of
Planned.
sprung that on you. Probably shouldn't have done that.
Yeah. Oh well, it worked out for the better.
Yeah, I hope so. We'll see where it goes, right?
Yeah.
Look, a lot of people don't make it in the city, right? There's
Yeah.
a lot of people down in the luck. And you gotta take what you can get. Everyone owns everything's owned by someone in Doskvol. So if you want something, you
Yes.
gotta take it from them.
Yes.
Or convince them to
I'm
give
going
it to you.
keep that in
And
mind.
I give you a wink and take a walk off to like, I don't know, go chat up with somebody. Unless there's more of that scene you wanted to do.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a good end.
No.
All right, cool. So B, are you still there? It seems like maybe something came up. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So we have never done like a break during the show before, but I think we're gonna do that right now. Find out what's up with oh, you're refreshed. Looks like B might be back in. Maybe not. Well, until B's back, we'll take a small break here. I'm going to switch to this screen that says starting soon and then live edit it to say on a break because I did not make a break screen. You're back. Okay.
Okay, God.
Hey.
We are not on a break. We're back. Well, you missed an excellent scene. I hope you go watch the VODs. We had a nice little flashback between
Yeah.
Nines and Brant's.
Nice.
So, while you were dealing with whatever you were dealing with, did you come up with an interesting bargain?
Dealing with internet, yeah. Okay, so I so Dell's bargain. Yes, sorry, I was dealing with it, yeah, so I didn't get a chance to think, but
Yeah, we were having a scene, so I wasn't giving much thought to it either.
yeah.
Yeah, same.
I would say maybe it's a thing of, I'm not sure how to reverse it mechanically, but maybe it'll be a thing of like you're gonna if you're paying attention passively, you're gonna have like this. You're just gonna like you're gonna be aware of like kind of Ferrick's what's her name? Ferrick. Nerix.
Okay.
You're gonna be aware of like Nerix inside you, and like you can kind of passively hear how much she really doesn't like you, and it's like it's gonna be distracting.
Or does she like me too much? Come on.
No. That's the opposite. It's the opposite. It's the exact opposite.
I don't know. We'll see. I think that kind of works, right? Because if I flub it, it's like I'm distracted by it, right? Like very distracted by it, and I can't figure out anything else going on. And if I succeed, then it's you're seeing this in addition to everything else. I think that works. So when you say, you are become aware, and like so I can feel the Nerix's like emotional state. That's cool, interesting.
Yeah.
What is the how does that punch me, right? Like what is the in what way does that mess me up? Is it just like a narrative thing that I need to deal with? Is it like I end up learning a thing I don't want to know? Is it that
I think it'd be like
I'm distracted by it, right? Like,
yeah, I think it'd be like a narrative thing you have to deal with, and that might like kind of make your position like worse in like different circumstances. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. Is me taking this devil's bargain modifying the character's opinion of me?
I don't think so. I think she doesn't like you right now.
Right. Yeah. I mean, she decided to do this, which is, I don't know what that means.
I think she has a plan, but
okay, that's cool. Yeah. I'm into that. I mean, I do believe that the relationship, from my perspective, and it's super fun when a GM throws a curveball at you. That even though you are saying it's one way and it's actually another, because when I say it's this way, it's also from the perspective of Nines. That the reason we don't get along is because she likes me too much,
Okay.
She likes me too much. Now, is this me going, oh, wait, no, she actually hates me? Or is this, still in that, range of, me misinterpreting it or correctly interpreting it? Who could say?
I think
other way.
You can, I don't know.
Do I have to come to terms with facts?
Maybe you have to come to terms with facts, yeah.
Another thing might be Brands might not be aware of yours accompanying us.
Oh, I don't. We never had a scene about it, so probably not. Even though we probably should have had a scene about that.
Yeah,
we got to have some internal conflict somewhere. So I will take this devil's bargain. And what's interesting to me about it is that there is this moment where I go, oh, have I been misinterpreting our relationship? That's really interesting. But also, she is here. I did go to her and ask for help. And despite the fact that she very, very much feels like she hates me, she came along. What does that mean? So it becomes this question of internal conflict as opposed to the way I previously thought about the relationship, right? The way I thought about it wasn't exactly right, but also what I'm feeling and the situation feel like they're in conflict, so I have to deal with that as well. So there's a bunch of layers there, and I think that's interesting.
Yeah.
Cool,
yeah.
I will take that die.
Right. Take that die, yeah.
All right, boom.
Nice.
Got a 6.
Hey, nice.
Hey,
You do the thing. So yeah, anytime like if there's any like paranormal threats happening from the ghost field, you'll know.
I'm aware. So I attune to the field and I feel out, and I'm like probably seeing like invisible ghosts like zap into the field, and it's like, all right, yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
But also I'm feeling this like how do can you describe the feeling as opposed to like telling me what she feels, but like how it feels, if that makes
I
sense.
think it's like a proprioception thing, actually. Like kind of like
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I hate myself.
What do you say?
Like I feel like I hate myself. Like I'm feeling the feeling she's feeling
towards
me, but it's from my own perspective.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I like that. I was thinking more like you could like kind of like sense like there's a ghost there, even if there isn't. Like you just kind of feel it. So if you're like it's like your arm was there, kind of thing.
Right. I mean, I think kind of like I can feel her anyway. Right. That's not really relevant to.
I was talking about the external ghosts that are like hitting the lightning field.
Oh, I'm talking about feeling this Nerix's emotions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't care about like those ghosts aren't real. I mean, they are, but like
the ghosts aren't real. Everyone just thinks they're real because they're really superstitious.
They're not real if they're dead. I mean, not dead. You know what I mean?
If you're dead, you're not real. That's why. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'm talking about like as I'm attuning to all these things. One of the things I'm attuning to is the emotional state of Nerix, and I don't know how that feels. I do like the idea of just like I'm literally feeling the emotion that she's feeling, but from my perspective, targeted at me, and that's like a very like weird out of body experience.
Yeah.
That said, what is my feeling? Like what? Like, is this like burning rage? Is this like
no? It's
this like ah ha ha! I'm going to get you. Like what is this?
No, it's like kind of like this fucker. It's like you're like really like it's like really like self-critical. It's like, oh, of course you would pick up that rope like that. That's typical. Like, yeah.
I don't know. That still seems very much like she likes me too much. I don't know.
I don't think maybe it is actually.
I thought I had to come to terms with that she actually hates me.
I don't know. I'm more to the idea that she likes you too much. I don't know. Yeah.
It's Tsundere Nerix. Exactly is what I'm going with. And I don't know. That might be wrong, but that was my interpretation of it as nines, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, the there is a devil's bargain in play. The devil's bargain is that I can feel her emotional state to the point where I have to sort of come to terms with the reality of it and what that means for me.
Yeah.
So what is the reality of it, I guess?
The reality of it is that like, I suppose the reality of it is that I don't know. Maybe
unless that's too much, right? What you could do is you could say you don't actually know the reality of it. You have an opportunity to, and the conflict here is actually that you were sort of distracted trying to parse that together. And so I'm like almost taken out of the scene for a role because I'm dealing with this internal struggle instead.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I like that.
Cool. All right. So here's a fun fact. Unless I can continue to use a tune, which debatably I can, this might be more of a study or something, right? I'm trying to analyze what is going on. And something that you may or may not know about nines is that nines has 0 action points in any insight skill.
Dang.
Just straight up, no, this is not a thing that they know about. They are very deluded and think that they're correct all the time.
Nice.
As it turns out, I didn't really realize this until it was like, yeah, no, that checks out. Mm-hmm. So there's a good chance that they're going to be like, I'm pretty sure I was correct about this, and now I'm unsure, but also like I'm pretty sure I'm right. So I would admit, I think a study roll at 0 dice seems like a really fun thing to do.
Okay, yeah.
But I also kind of think I'm not going to. I think I'm going to activate my Rook's Gambit, and I'm going to analyze them as if they were a ghost, because they are. And I'm going to take 2 stress to roll my attune instead of my study.
Okay, yeah.
Huh.
So 2 stress. Let me swap the scene again. Take 2 stress. And I'm going to roll attune. And I'm not going to like take another bargain, because then it just gets weird. I mean, I would love a bargain, but you know, this is like the result of a bargain having another bargain. And it's like, where are we going? What sort of
Endless
position is
bargain
this?
deals. Position? I think this is controlled.
Okay.
I might be laying off too easy, but I think like this is like not.
Yeah,
like
I think what this really represents to me is that I can't really act in the next moment, because I'm doing this. I'm already using my action, right? If we thought about this like a D&D initiative series, I've wasted my action on this thing that doesn't actually matter.
Yeah.
And I think this is like really confused Nines. Like, they are feeling these emotions directly through them, right? Like, there's a very disorienting effect to this.
Yeah.
And they really want to understand, even though they know they're not good at that.
Yeah.
And Nines is going to push themselves for an additional die.
Hey.
Do I have standard effect?
Yeah, standard effect.
Okay, so take 1 bonus die, because you can both use your specifically it's called out in the rules that you can use Rook's Gambit and you can push yourself. They're not exclusive to each other. So
yeah, nice.
Ooh, no 6. Okay, 4, 2, 5.
Ooh.
Pop up my stress there.
So I think
this on 1 roll.
So I think this might actually be like kind of a coming to terms thing.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I fully intend to resist whatever consequence you're about to throw at me. So make it a good one, and I'm going to say no.
Okay, good.
So the question is, ignoring the consequence, what do I get, right?
So you find out what she was like kind of key off of it is like, as actually maybe it's like you using your ghost abilities on her, which like it's like, oh, I hate this person can just like push. It just feels like can push me around and like being false, and you get both like, and I know they're being my faults right now, and it's like, the jerk.
Can ghosts attune? Is that a thing ghosts can do?
What do you say?
Can ghosts attune? Is that a thing they're allowed to do?
They're constantly tuning, right? Because they're controlling themselves and like.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, there are rules for playing a ghost. I don't know if they lose the attune ability. Like, probably not. So I'm curious. This like idea of like ghost abilities. I don't really have any ghost abilities. I'm not a whisper, right? I do have this ghost voice thing, but I'm kind of interpreting it more as just like a knack more than like a supernatural effect. Which maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I shouldn't interpret it that way.
Yeah.
So, but then you mentioned like reading their thoughts and stuff, and that's obviously not to do with the ghost voice. That's to do with attuning.
Yeah.
But if that's something that they can do, I wonder how that works, right? Is there actually this like level of power I'm exerting over this character in a way that they can't do to other ghosts? And I don't know. Maybe there is. Something to think about, I guess. Yeah. So yeah, I'm feeling their emotions. I'm parsing them and like what they mean. And I'm not sure what conclusion I come to, and I'm also not sure what the consequence of trying to do this is. Like, maybe I just hurt myself. This might just be straight up harm, where I like give myself like a aneurysm. Like, I don't know, right? Like, we haven't done a lot of harm in the game so far, and
so it's like you get harm, harm. I was distracted, I guess. Like, this is like kind of. So I think like you're just, and I think that what you're distracted by. I
don't think that distracted can work as a harm, I think, but it's like kind of a wobbly thing, right? Harm doesn't have to be purely physical, but it should be something that's going to last until you literally heal somehow, right? So like,
okay, so
if this is a distraction, that's so bad I have to go to like a therapist to get over it, right? Which is legit. It's just change the word maybe.
Yeah. So. Okay, yeah, so it's like, So I would say
It
like
also might just be like literally I take psychic damage, right? Because I'm thinking too hard and it breaks my brain.
yeah.
Right,
I don't
like,
know.
whatever.
But kind of like the is like she is like kind of
Resisting me.
well, yeah. I think not, or I don't know. I think like you kind of maybe you realize something about yourself that you kind of want her to like you. It's like kind of like and she
Right.
does. And
So
she
we're
doesn't,
talking
and
about the consequence, and then there is also the success part. And the success part is, does she actually hate me, or is it just like there's this part of you that I hate, and I should be better about that because don't be a dick. But the reason she hates that so much is because she actually does like me. And I want her to like me, and I want to deal with those parts of me that she doesn't like. Is that the thing that's happening?
yeah.
I think that's pretty legit.
Yeah.
This is the sort of thing where we kind of took like two roles to come to the real devil's bargain, which is that like I'm in love with Nurix. And that's the devil's bargain I took, and I didn't know that, right? And it just took us a while to get there, but that's
cool.
like I think that's actually the bargain, sort of reverse engineered. But also I have this like stronger understanding of like, oh crap, I'm an asshole, right? Which is a weird self-awareness thing.
Okay. So while you're having this internal struggle, one of the guys at Crane is like, "You got it," and starts lifting up, and it's like this blue. It's like this. It's not actually one rock. It's like a bunch of.
We're like seeing it like come up. It's like the light under the Neversea is slowly getting closer and closer and closer, right?
And it's like,
does anything happen before it gets to the surface?
You can feel like a bunch of like, it's not ghost energy, but it's like and I don't know if you're even feeling this because you're like attuned, but it's like you feel like this like kind of, I don't know, like darkness emanating from it. Like this is like everyone's hair kind of stands on like this is like a bad thing kind of feeling. But and you can almost feel it as it gets closer, like I don't know, like someone creeping up behind you almost.
Cool. For the sake of chat, hi, Trusty Fish is in chat. Asking if is Nines a ghost. Nines is a slide who is very good at talking to ghosts and has convinced a ghost to ride passenger just, for backup muscle in case something goes weird, because we are currently outside of the lightning barriers and there are ghosts everywhere. That's the short version.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
Everything is terrible. Did I take any harm in that scene, or was just like the consequence, like that whole thing was the consequence, like it ended up?
I think that whole thing was the consequence.
I think I'm happy with where it landed, so I'm pretty good at that too. So.
Cool. Yeah. So.
All right. Cool. Great. I should write that down.
Yeah, you should go back and play
lyrics. I'm gonna just change this. Sorry. All right. Okay. Oops. There we go. Great. I've changed the
nice
defining line.
Nice.
On Nurix from a prostitute to a love interest.
Nice.
All right. Cool.
All right. Yeah. So you get this thing, and it's like a bunch of like rocks, kind of like strapped together by this
chains.
Well, not chains. It's like this cord, like a.
Is it a purple cord?
Yeah, it's purple. Yeah, a purple cord.
I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry.
No. That's actually it. Actually, that's kind of what I was going for.
Right. Yeah, it would have been better if I hadn't prompted you.
Yeah.
Once again, I'm going to mention this. It's like the second time I brought it up. Go watch the prologue game. B has been slowly working in elements from it that will be like, I probably like the main meta plot eventually, even though the show is very episodic. Go watch that. It's good. It's real good.
It is good. I like that. I like that so a lot.
Yeah. It's a blast.
All right.
Yeah. It's like I mean, it's like not purple right now. It's like kind of like gotten like greenish over the time. But like it has like kind of it's like a purplish green right now.
So here's a question: we pulled
Yeah.
this stuff out of the Neversea, which is like this ink black sea. That's like maybe even text, like maybe even is ink. When we pull things out, does it like slough off like it's hydrophobic, or is it like dripping with this like thick viscous ink? Because both are equally cool and creepy.
Yeah, I think it's like dripping with this viscous ink,
Okay, cool.
and like actually, it's like kind of thing of like as it hits the deck, like it's like start of like something it will like jump up and like splat into like a splat, like it's almost like what's that live or something
Right,
like
yeah, a little bit like
Jello?
splits off as like we pull it out, but probably we try and get most of it to drip off before we pull it in. You can't get all of it, obviously, but
yeah. Okay, yeah. So there's these rocks like and like beneath the rocks, that is what's like glowing. There's like something. So there's like something glowing like beneath those rocks in like this bluish hue, and there's like some like younger like sailor like kind of doing like a sailor like kind of reaches their hand up, touching like someone next to him like grabs her hand and pulls it back like no.
good. I'm glad that person was there because I wasn't there to do it.
Yeah.
I'm like fighting the urge
That's
to be
gross,
like to
that
just like start talking. Just be like, go do this, do that, da da da. Good work, everybody. like nope. I'm distracted. I'm not doing there. Right? Like we see the camera like pan around and I'm just like kind of zonked out. Maybe I even like we see probably like it's not immediately obvious because I have like this glass eye. But like my other eye has like rolled back into my head and like so there's this weird like those aren't like one is glass and one is eye and it's not like at a glance it's not obvious what's happening there, but also like anyone who knows knives sort of glances by and like yeah, that's just their eye and then they're like wait a minute, no, that's the wrong side, right?
Yeah.
Because I have this one eye that just like always looks like that.
Let's see. So So I think like you already like did the like you paid the cost for like rolling a 5 on the keeping the crew morale in check. So I think you're good.
Oh, the morale, yeah, totally.
Yeah, you're good on the morale front. So you start heading in.
I like to think that's part of the reason why you're able to not have somebody touch it.
Yeah.
If you flubbed that and they would have touched it and everything would have been awful.
Yeah. It's like
I like that.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, I guess like this thing like like where do you want to keep this? Or I guess, sorry, what is the question you want to ask?
I was just gonna ask like what does Brant do? Like Brant is like in control of the situation. We have the crew. The crew's like, okay, we pulled this thing up out of the Neversea and we're ready to like, haul it back. What are your orders? You're in control, right? This is your scene, Brant.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'd like to. Have we decided that we do have part of the thing of this is that we made a secret component?
Secret compartment? I mean
Yeah,
there's definitely going to be a hull that we can put this in. Is it secret? Not really. Depends how big this is, right? If this is small, we can work it into our rigging and not even worry about it because we're smugglers.
It's like the size of a shipping container, I guess.
Yeah, that's sort of what I'm picturing. So something that scale, we put it in the hull and we keep people away from it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Then I tell people to do that.
I don't know if it's below decks or if it's just like a shipping container on the boat.
You can keep it as like a shipping container, and you put it aside.
Put like in a shipping container. Yeah, that makes sense. I like that.
Yeah, actually, yeah, because like that actually works better because like then you because then people aren't like looking at it and like getting. Hopefully it's not whispering to anyone.
Yeah, we'll have to offload that later
yeah.
with the crane. It's like,
Yeah.
great. That's perfect.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So as you head back,
Yeah, I mean, I guess we do, right? Like that's the implication, I assume, Brant?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I hope you're getting back.
Yeah, I don't see why we wouldn't.
Yeah, no, I just wasn't like you have the scene, right? Like, what do you tell people to do, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that like as soon as we got it, it's immediately now. Okay, everyone. Now that we got what we come for, we're heading back before it gets worse.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Okay.
Nothing to see here. Let's go.
And is it at this point that Nines is still out of it?
I was kind of hoping that there'd be like a sort of important challenge that needed to be overcome that I wasn't in the scene to be able to contribute to. But I feel like this probably is like long enough. Like something could have gone wrong with the whole hauling it up and the storing it, and nothing did, and therefore, I think that's probably when it would have been that I would have been checked out. So probably I'm coming around now. Would be my guess.
Okay. Like, I was just thinking, like, if it's the moment where you're still out of it, I just figure you're handling whatever spooky stuff I can't see. So it's just best leave you be in and just making sure that no one disturbs you.
Yeah, you probably like glance over at me and you like saw me with my eyes rolled back and you're like, you're doing some spooky stuff. And then you see like my one eye roll forward. But then I'm still like looking around like I'm attuning, right? Like I'm just sort of you see me like acknowledge everything that's going on, like, okay, we got the thing, it's being put away, that seems safe enough. Actually, I'm attuning. What do I see? As I like come back to reality and I see that we pulled this glowing thing out of the ocean, the Neversea. What do I see?
Well, okay, so I would say like the weird thing about like kind of the ghost field, it's like kind of the life field, really.
Yeah, totally.
Like it's like the field of life, and you notice like, and you feel like there's like kind of, and when you cast your gaze over to like the thing as it's being put into a crate,
it's just like crystallized souls.
No, it's like a void of life.
Oh, cool.
It's like yeah.
Is this like there should be something there and there's not? Or is this like if I was looking at nothing, there is this noticement of like, this is like, it's the inverse of detecting life, and therefore it's like, what does that even mean? Because the interesting thing about the ghost field, like honestly, is that like there are buildings in the ghost field. You know what I mean? Like anything that once existed can have an impression left on the echo.
Yeah.
So this is like, it's the inverse of an echo, right? It's like,
yeah.
And it's not where there should be an echo. It's like,
it's like the inverse. Yeah.
And it's probably like just like not a thing I've experienced before, but I feel it is wrong in some way, and I don't know what it means, and I'll have to go decode that. And probably I turn inward, right? And I'll try and communicate with Nerex in some way, like, what the? You ever seen anything like that before?
No. To be honest, I wish you didn't. Why did you bring me out here again?
Expertise, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So you say.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't really sure what we were pulling up, but it would be something.
Yeah.
Some sort of Ghibli's.
Okay.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
So I got a second opinion.
What do you say?
I got a second opinion about like this thing, right?
This thing.
So that's what I want there. Yeah. Cool. Do I notice anything else? Is there like any reaction from the ghosts that are just around?
Yeah. I think actually the ghosts are like kind of moving away from it.
Cool.
Like
okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So there's like an ability that leeches can get as a scoundrel called
Ooh.
Ghost Ward, which is that you learn how to wreck something in such a way that it becomes either anathema to spirits or attracting to spirits.
Oh.
And this is what I'm feeling here. Now, I probably have never met a leech that can do that, so that's fine. I just know this because I've literally played a character who had Ghost Ward. But that's what it feels like to me as a player. Like, this is this thing that has been so utterly destroyed that it is horrifying to spirits innately. Just like it just exudes anti, like, go away spiritness, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Now, of course, I'm not saying that you
Yeah,
have to
but-
adhere to that sort of thing. I'm just throwing that out there in the universe so you can sort of
Yeah.
think about it.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to continue doing my, like, let's make sure it looks like ghosts are going away. I'm okay with that. That's good. Is Nerex reacting any way, or are they, like, protected within me, or
No, I think she's saying put. She's protected within you.
right?
Like,
So there's I feel it's like a few different versions of that, right? There's the one which is she's just like no, and she just leaves. There's the one where she's like, this is awful, but I can, like, endure it because I'm here. And then there's the like, oh, this is fine. Yeah.
Yeah. She's not feral like those ghosts, so it's like kind of a thing. She is like in neutral
It's
herself.
like a feral thing. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Yeah. So yeah, yeah.
All right, yeah. We head on back. So, like, I kind of want to go talk to Brant, but also I'm trying to, like, keep an eye on things and just make sure nothing, like, surprises us. So I'm focusing on the attunement stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So you already went back,
Mhm.
and as you came back, you get so one of the ships, one of the blue coast ships as you came back, like, kind of flashes a light to you and starts hanging over to you, and like the crew like start like moving because like start like moving to like slow the boat down because this is like because like that's like the Morse code that they flashed you is a sign to like stop. You're gonna get searched.
Right, yeah, you got to acknowledge that
Yeah.
they flood, you know.
Yeah.
They pulled you over. You got to stop the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The boat. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
So
metaphorical car.
Yeah, the metaphorical car. Yeah, a boat is basically a car by water. What are you talking about? Yeah.
All right.
So
cool.
yeah. So it takes a while for them to actually get there because you have to like come to a complete stop. And
Sure. Right. Now, this is one of those opportunities, and I mean, I think probably if Simon wanted to do something, he'd say something here. But, like, do you comply, Simon? Right? Does Brant comply with this?
Yeah. You could like okay, yeah. All right, cool. So it comes, they like lay down like the thing, like the boarding plank, whatever.
Sure.
And just like very like, it's like tall, lean, like blue coat person. It's like comes on. It's like, all right, who's in charge here?
So who is in charge
That
here?
would be-
Do we have, like,
It's
the
probably
initial captain of the ship?
Well, the captain is there, but he's not like making any. So you can say you are in charge here if you so choose.
Right, but there is someone we could point to if we wanted to instead. Good. I just want to know whether or not that they're available. Okay. So, Brent, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be we.
Okay. So yes. So it says here that this is a Seahawk, correct? Yes, this is definitely them. Yes, you are. We don't have any schedule. We don't have you scheduled to be out here this time. What exactly are you doing? she's like
There was some-
tapping her foot. Like
Yeah.
she's like I felt like yeah, she's like she actually has her hand out like she's like waiting for her bribe.
Oh, right, of course. This is
Yeah.
like an intentional, no subtlety. Like, this is the part where you bribe me. Like, with
Yeah.
gray coats. Yeah. Cool.
This is fun because I've tried to weigh some of the risk and the reward because I was thinking like it could just flash documents, but now that I see that they're clearly expecting something out of this, it might be like it's sway to my favor, or rather consort to my favor.
Okay.
How do
Okay.
you respond?
Yes. I didn't get your name.
What is her name? Should be doing the Judge World thing of like name everyone, but I'm still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they all have
It could
names.
just-
I just didn't name them.
Yeah.
It could just be the thing, like okay,
Cecile.
Pardon?
Cecile Brooke.
Cecile?
Yeah.
Nice.
okay. Cecile, I see you're a discerning person, and I wouldn't want to. How would I say? I wouldn't. I don't mean you any ill will, but I think it'd be best that you don't get involved in this particular incident.
Ooh.
Are
Wait.
you aware of this girl,
Of who?
Lord Skurlock?
Lois Skurlock. Oh, Lois Skurlock. Okay. So this sounds like this sounds like a threat kind of thing. Like, don't mess with me because we're working for a force that's bigger than you are.
Yeah, it's one of those interesting, like, well, how do they
Yeah.
react, right? Do they go, oh,
And-
or not? But the fact that, the idea that might require a roll to see how they react makes sense, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is like a sway kind of, or I don't know. Yeah. Or is it, yeah.
You don't sound super commanding yet, even though it is a threat. So I think sway is reasonable.
Yeah.
But it's,
Yeah.
You could I don't know, if you want to do command, I think that also works. But
can
I think like,
I levy for this? I feel like Brantz gave himself a devil's bargain
okay.
by calling on Skurlock's name here.
Yeah, I can go with that.
Okay, because like the funny thing about those bargains, right, is that you narrate this, you decide them and then you work them in, and this is already worked in, but it didn't have to be. Like, so
Well,
yeah,
I was initially going with consort, but I'll definitely be happy to take sway. In that case, so it would be sway risky, right?
Yeah, risky. I'd say like standard effect.
Okay, and then I guess one bonus dice.
Yeah.
take one bonus die. Oh, I should
So
solve
it's
this.
Apparently, I worked myself into a devil's bargain.
I mean, it's like you could ask for another devil's bargain on top, but dang, you crit!
Oh,
okay, yeah,
shit.
fine.
Yes.
Okay. Oh.
Is it the first crit of our
okay,
game?
that wasn't
It's
good.
like
Yeah, it is.
episode
We should-
6 and we've never crit.
Yeah. Nice. Okay.
I was not
Yeah.
expecting that.
So she's like, "Oh, there's Skurlock," you say, and it's like, and she, it's this. Okay. Yes, right. Okay. Well, carry on. And she like wait to go back onto the blue code
So
boat.
this is the like, okay, everything worked well, but this person, like, write them down, like Brantz, like Simon in Brantz's sheet, write down Cecile. Is that their name?
Cecile Brooks.
Write them down in your contacts and give them an enemy status. Like,
Yeah.
as just like note, knows about Skurlock. Like, I I don't know however you want to detail that, but like that's what this says to me as a player. Like,
Yeah.
there is, because like you got to crit though. Like what does it do? Maybe that mitigates the devil's bargain a bit. Probably not. That's not the point, right? You shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But it's like, yep, that name's out there now. That connection is out there,
Yeah.
and that's probably not going to be like, oh, and now the whole blue coats care. It's this one specific person, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tried to find a job description.
I am trying to find the spot.
I'll just pretend checkpoint
Yeah.
person.
So actually, I was kind of thinking you might have like if you didn't take the bribe, you might have a gunfight thing happen, but I guess not. I think you've gone past the obstacles.
Okay, so that I was trying to like look for what the exact rulings on was for like a crit, but that makes total sense to me, right? The like, yeah, you have these options and you can get by without having to bribe them, but it means you have to start fighting them, right? And even on a success, you probably still would have to. It's just, it's maybe it's a bit more controlled.
Yeah.
But that is, that works for me.
Yeah.
Action roll. Here we are, position and effect. Oh no, that's the wrong spot. I went too far.
Right. You do have increased effect. It's like a thing, yeah.
Right. So you have to think about what it would have been and advance that. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. All right.
Yeah, I had a whole I kind of thing planned for it, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
you crits are crits. You gotta,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so
narrate
I'm
them
surprised in a little bit disappointed.
So you get through. You get through like the lightning barrier airlock thing going on, and you get you get back into port, and like it feels good to be as like the lights are coming out for you, or the lights get closer. It's like a wave's been kind of lifted off you, but not quite, because there's still this thing there in the you can feel it in there, and like even the most, and anyone in the crew, even like those who aren't really that attuned to anything in the ghost field, everyone's like giving that thing a wide berth basically, and the captain comes up to Brant and says, "Well, we got it. Where do you want to keep it?" So, implying that like you probably don't want to keep it in the docks if I'll.
And I assume we have something planned as far as Skurlock goes, right? Like, I don't know if we're taking it to we have our own boat set up, and it's a shipping container, so probably not, right? We need to actually take it directly somewhere. Well, are we allowed to? Did he give us a drop point? I think
the regular thing would be I think a regular thing we like to keep at the shipping yard and keep it
right. It's just some storage container that exists that he has.
Yeah. Okay.
That makes sense.
So actually, I say there would be a transport there waiting for it. So it's like he's.
Or not, right? We're smugglers. If we need to get it there and it's going to cause problems because it's emitting psychic radiation, that can be a thing that we have to deal with if you want it to be, or it could be that we did it and we can try and do downtime in 20 minutes, 10 minutes.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
It's 11:47. I'm trying to be cognizant of time.
Yeah, probably what we'll do, actually, we won't even hit downtime. We'll just go through the entanglements and stuff.
Yeah, totally.
That'll probably take us to the hour.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So that will take I feel he does have transports there, because I think he will also anticipated that this would be a problem. Cool. It's just kind of.
Yeah. For all I know, I don't actually know where Skurlock lives on this map.
he lives in a bunch of places. He's very wealthy.
I mean, fair enough. So, like, there's some place he owns
Yeah.
that has water access that we can just go to, right?
Yeah. I
Like-
think it's actually like a barge. You put it on.
Oh, yeah, nice. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's going to eventually be our barge when we eventually buy the barge upgrade for our lair.
Yeah.
I don't want the barge
Yeah.
upgrade for our lair. I like having an office, but I think it's funny. Anyway, cool. Great. Did we do it? Are we good?
Yeah. I think we're good. You're good.
Okay, let's have like a little scene, right? Like, I feel like we're on our way back, or like we've already like done this, right? We went through sort of this checkpoint where these like blue coat Coast Guard, I don't know what you call them.
Coast Guard.
Like, you know, checking people in, and we
Coast
we're
Guard
able
makes
to,
sense.
you know, say like, no, this is legit. Your information's wrong, and you know what? You don't even want to deal with us because Skurlock will eat your face off or something. I don't know why I said it that way. So we get through, but there's still some time on the water, right? This sort of like, it's still a long, slow process to go kind of anywhere. Now, obviously, it's faster than, you know,
Yeah, I think
most
actually,
other forms of transit. That's why people use boats. It's not just because water is, you know, in the way. It's because taking it down the river's faster, right? So, you know, but still, we're covering a lot of distance.
Also, it's like a thing of like, I think it's actually a thing like the barge meets you after you get through Lightning Field.
Sure, right. We don't even get to the docks. Cool, I'm into that. That's fun.
So there's like the time
we make a transfer.
It's like the time between you can get off and getting to the docks.
Sure.
Hey, if you want to see it there, then yeah.
So during this, like, any sort of downtime between story beats, right? We're seeing the crew doing what the crew needs to do, you know, shoveling electro coal or whatever, right? Managing, you know, whatever they're doing. And like Nines is sort of just kind of off on their own, just hasn't really spoken much with Brent since the thing came on board. I assume Brant is like kind of busy with managing people, but maybe not, right? There is a captain to like order people around, and like you're not actually a sailor, you're a docker. So I don't know what Brant is doing with his time. I don't know if he, you know, approaches Nines or not, but Nines is sort of just notably distant in the shot, right? He's very like looking very stoic's the wrong word, but like self-focused, I guess. As we sort of drift on this, you know, flat, invisible sea of ink. And there doesn't necessarily have to be a scene there. I just wanted to like paint that imagery, you know. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we get to the Skurlock barge. We make the transfer. We bring the ship into the docks. We, you know, I assume again, like Brant is kind of in charge of stuff and he's managing people and being like, yes, very good. Everyone did a great job. I hope everyone, you know,
good hustle out there.
Would be, you know, interested in working again in the future together. You know, you're all good, strong sailors, right? Doing that thing, and we're seeing like Nines kind of like absentmindedly like, oh, we're back, okay, and like getting up and sort of wandering over. So we're on the docks here now, and I don't know what the exact like scene is, but it's like it's Brant and Nines after this has been sort of resolved, and we're all right. Is that it?
Yep.
Is that it?
We're all done.
All right. You know, I really expected there to be a lot more. I don't know.
Yeah. No, it's definitely was weird.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. He was like, I don't even know how to describe it.
I'll take your word on it. Do you want to hit up the usual?
Yeah, like a lot.
I feel like losing that pool anyways.
I'll meet you there. Give me a second.
All right, and then head over.
Um,
I try to remember that bar, but it's that bar.
so I'm gonna like find some spot where I can like have some semblance of privacy. Or on Eric's. Should I take you back now, or what?
Oh,
Walk
I
you
can make.
home? You don't want to go to the. I don't know if you're in. Sorry, I'm having a little hard time focusing my thoughts right now. I'm gonna go to the Silver Stag. If you want it, I'm sure you got something you need to do.
I suppose I do, but I could. Well, if sorry, just trying to think how what she's thinking. You know what? If I think I'm actually enjoying being a passenger right now. So we can go to the SAG if you would like.
All right, I'll walk you home
Aw.
after then.
Yeah.
Cool, great, good scene.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
let's do our entanglements and joke, because like we're not. I mean, I guess actually like we go there and we like have a night, but that's not actually our like stress relief scene, because stress relief happens after entanglements, and entanglements don't happen immediate. So
Yeah.
that's just a scene, even though I do intend to be relieving stress.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool,
same.
great.
So actually, so
it's 5-2. Yeah.
yeah, it's like kind of thing. It's like I would like to. Maybe we should do entanglements after this. I don't know if we can do it in like 5 minutes.
Those are usually pretty fast. Like we should definitely not do downtime. I think entanglements should be fine.
Okay, yeah, sure. Let's do entanglements.
All right. So first and foremost, we get paid.
Heck yeah! So
All right.
yeah,
Payoff.
Like so like
Your crew earns. Or do you want to do
the guys from the bars give you like a lockbox with
it happens. Yeah, during
some gems. Yeah.
After score, piece of 6 document income. You earn 2 rep per score by default, and then if the target of the score is higher tier, then you take +1 rep per tier. I don't know who the tier is. I don't know who the target is. The target like Skurlock here?
No, the target's like, yeah, it's weird. It's weird that the thing that's probably things have targets.
We're not robbing somebody, right? We're like trying to just do a job, but it is under the nose of somebody. So I guess it's the blue coats. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it's the blue coats. Yeah.
All right. So blue coats are tier something. Tier 3.
Tier 3, yeah.
So we get 2 because we are 1. Yeah. So that's 4 total. I should actually swap scenes and stuff, but I'm trying to be quick about it.
Yeah.
All right. So we get 2 rep and 4 rep. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Think ahead as I do this so that we don't waste any time. Great. Blah, 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 blah. Rep. Okay. Crew earns coin based on the nature of the operation. Minor job, a small job, a standard job, a big score, a major score. Several full purses, a strong box, a decent loot, serious loot, or impressive loot.
Oh, okay. I think this is like also like Skrillex like loaded, but also it's like I think it's the 6 coin job.
Okay, I think it seems fine. We're also trying to like build rapport with him and stuff too, so we're probably
Yeah.
Now we lose 1 coin because we promised it to the crew, so we're gonna honor that promise.
Yeah,
so
I hope you do.
5.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have to. It's a promise, right? The promise is made. Record the coin. Do. Yep. So we have one extra that we need to spend before the end of downtime, but that should be no problem. Okay. After a score, take heat according to the nature of the operation. Smooth and quiet, low exposure, contained standard exposure, loud, chaotic, high exposure, wild, devastating exposure. I think it was smooth. Like, I think that the C seal is like a specific problem, not a heat problem.
Yeah. This is smooth.
I mean, that was a crit. Like, I think this is a smooth operation. I don't think we get any heat. Add +1 heat for a high profile or well connected target. So I mean, we were dealing with blue coats. That might be enough. I don't know. Add +1 heat if the situation happened on hostile turf. I don't think anyone owns Neversea. Add +1 heat if you're at war. Add 2 heat if killing was involved. I think it was a 0 heat job. I think we did it.
Yeah.
I think we won it blades.
Good job. Right. Good job. You won an RPG.
We did. All right.
And it wasn't even bears doing things.
5 minutes is way shorter than I give it credit for. So we'll do the entanglement after. We'll roll entanglements at the beginning of the next session. That's everything. We did the like actual payoff. We haven't started entanglements. So that's the part we are in the hierarchy.
Yeah, nice. Okay, cool.
So, B, how about you outro yourself now?
Yeah.
So
Okay. So I'm B. I'm Infin Bertez on Twitter. That's the only thing. I don't know if you want to like chat on Discord. I don't know, message me. But yeah, it is. Yeah, that's me. I'm just like kind of person. I get angry on politics on Twitter sometimes, but that's about it.
Yeah. Simon, tell us who you are. Tell us some fun facts.
Yeah, I'm Simon DeMail. You could find me at Twitter, Simon DeMail, DEMAIL. And another fun fact about me is I have hyperdontia. That means that I grew up, had an extra set of teeth.
That's cool.
That is true, but you no longer do. Do they removed or do they fall out because they were baby teeth?
Yeah. They fall out because more baby teeth.
Right. So there you have it. And I'm DarcyBits. This is my channel. You can find me here. Most of my places are the Boyd or something.
Oh, I'm gonna. We'll break everything if I exit out now.
Just bounce. That's cool.
Yeah. Okay.
It's all fine. So
see you.
Yep. Check my Twitch about for any of my links if you want to find me on Twitter or Instagram or any of the places. That'll work. But that is all for us for tonight. So have a great night.